604 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you. Cade Wazan producing. Coming to you live from the 180 Pros studio in downtown Baton Rouge. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. We're starting you off at 51 degrees this Thursday morning. We've got a busy show lined up for you. A little bit of a hodgepodge show all over the place. No one theme the whole way through. Couple of things I do know we want to take a look at. Great year for tourism in Baton Rouge this year. The bowlers coming to town, that was probably the big highlight. Not probably, that was the big highlight. Do want to get a little bit of a recap on that front. Also, there's a new parade coming to Baton Rouge, new Christmas parade coming to Baton Rouge. I know we want to cover both of those things. So I'll give you the full rundown in just a minute. Let's start off with top stories and trending. A recently released audit of the Department of Children and Family Services Child Support Enforcement Program ranked Louisiana among the worst U.S. states and territories at collecting child support payments. According to the Louisiana Legislative Auditor, our state ranks number 52 out of 54 states and territories in the collection of current child support, and we rank number 47 in the collection of past due child support in 2024. An inmate at the Ascension Parish Jail died after deputies say on Sunday he was attacked by 56-year-old Stacy LeBlanc, another inmate. The inmate who was killed, Charlie Stafford, had recently pleaded guilty to oral sexual battery with a victim under 13 more than 10 years ago. Now, there's no shortage of unanswered questions about this case. Was LeBlanc hired? How were their family members involved in this attack? How did it happen? How did it go down? No shortage of unanswered questions about this case. But for now, here's what we know. Stacy LeBlanc is facing manslaughter charges as Stafford's death is being investigated. Louisiana's Revenue Secretary, this is finally out. Good. Louisiana's Revenue Secretary Richard Nelson has been tapped to serve as the next president of the Louisiana Community and Technical College System. Nelson, who was voted into the position yesterday by the LCTCS board, will assume leadership of the state's community and technical college system on January 1. The first arrests have been made in Operation Swamp Sweep or Catahoula Crunch or Rougarou Roundup or whatever we're calling it these days. As expected, ICE agents made their first victims, wow, that was just a total Freudian slip. Made their first visits to home improvement stores in the New Orleans area. The Lowe's in Metairie and the Lowe's on Elysian Fields were two of the first reported locations. I guess today they'll go to Home Depot, where doers go to get things done. Starting off with rain, and it's going to stick with us throughout the day. In fact, there might be some heavier pockets of rain. Man, we had it all night last night. I don't know about you, but we had the kind of rain that keeps you up all night. Here's what we're looking at today. Wet start to the Thursday morning, as you heard during our forecast. Most of the heavy stuff is going to come down during the first half of the day. Should ease back a bit this afternoon, but it's not going to turn dry. And it's the intensity will back off, but it's not going to get completely dry throughout the day. Tomorrow, however, I shouldn't say tomorrow, however. Tomorrow we should see some more showers as well. What you got, CV?
Starting out, Navy Admiral Frank Bradley is scheduled to hold classified briefings for senior members of the Senate and House Armed Services Committees today. Is this in relation to the Pete Hegseth look-see?
Bradley's the one who is accused of calling the second attack on the Venezuelan drug group. Okay, yeah, so gotcha. I think that's what it's about. He's allegedly the one who said, hit it again. You know, he went Hans Gruber.
I was going to say,
he went Hans Gruber on the boat.
Hit it again. Quarterback is tips. If you need help doing some math, don't ask a recent high school grad. A new study has found that a third of college freshmen can't even do basic middle school math, which means they're at a fifth grade level or less. I can tell you that working with my child over the last 2 years where homework has been more prevalent.
Yeah.
It's What's challenging is I'm so used to doing, at least helping with math the way I know, the way I was taught,
Yes.
and it's broken down a little bit differently how they're teaching it now. But this stat is surprising.
And then the numbers are that low.
Yeah.
I see. I'm not surprised by it because
The
when
COVID stuff?
not just the COVID stuff, but when you can go ahead and grab that.
Yep.
When you jack up the way you teach things, and I've been going through this for a little while now as well. Kay's daughter is younger than my youngest child, so I've been going through this for a little while now. In that, when you jack up the way if you completely change the way something's taught, you lose the involvement of the parents to help teach. As we talked about this with Dr. Brumley a number of times as well, and Dr. Brumley's take is, look, if you can get to the answer, which is the right answer. But if you remove the ability to have the parents help out at home, you're going to see things suffer on the you're going to see things suffer on the end where you're just looking at results.
Math is important.
Yes.
It's official. The quest for Ozempic body has gone too far, as now women are turning to having ribs surgically removed to alter their physique. Now, is this Fulton Street or is it the full?
Dude, no, it's like actually your 11th and 12th ribs. That don't connect or whatever. Yeah, I saw this.
Why would you want to do that? Sincerely, Drew Brees. Like that's painful, right?
I would imagine so. I mean, ribs are there for a reason.
Yeah. Are they protecting organs?
I thought the lungs were behind them. I thought the heart was behind them. I thought they were there. Yeah. They're as if to form, what would you call it? A cage. Around all those important parts.
It's defense.
Best
offense is a good defense.
Yes, and that's what ribs are.
Oh boy.
No, but apparently this is a thing. There was, and look, the first place I saw this was the New York Post. So, I don't know where it went after that.
Well,
but there's
look, I've got family that have done the. I'm not sure if it's the Ozempic or the other one, and it's been kind of in moderation, slowly as a build up, and they've had success with it, and they're trying to parlay that into, okay, let me get there, and then let me continue a healthy lifestyle without it.
Right, but it's supposed to be a reset button.
Yeah, it's a way to get you there. I mean, I don't know, kind of in a way where maybe if you're receiving benefits because, hey, lost a job and you're trying to get somewhere and you need something to bridge the gap, you need a jump start.
Yeah,
that's a little too far.
I obviously tend to agree.
Yeah, obviously,
totally tend to agree with that. It's 6:12 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are going to talk sports in a little bit. Kind of break down some of what went down yesterday with the national signing, or the opening of the early signing period. Our partners over there, LouisianaSports.net, have been all over this all day yesterday. So we'll get you some results. That's coming up next on Talk 107.3. Was that the curmudgeon? Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to hear his voice. Yeah, there's a guy, he listens 3 hours a day every day. He used to call every day in the first 6 months of the show. He would call and tell me that my show wouldn't last 3 months, and then my show wouldn't last 6 months, and then my show would be done before a year, and then eventually he gave up on that. Somewhere around the time of me signing my third contract extension, And then he pivoted over to attacking JP when JP first sat down there. So on everything, like, I believe at one point he told JP, not only should you not be producing radio, but you shouldn't produce children. I'm like, dude, it's the phone is there if you want it or not. Like, I appreciate if there's people giving legitimate feedback as far as, like, there's an accident that y'all haven't reported on, or River Bend is melting down. That's how we were the first ones to know about that shooter at Our Lady of the Lake. A couple years, it was like 2 years ago or whatever. Yeah. It was like somebody like called in, said, because it had happened in the afternoon. They called in the next morning, and when details were still sketchy. Did you not get the highlights from basketball? That's on me. That's my fault. We can skip them. Yep. Just resent. Deborah, he ate a fly. Tell you what, we'll push the basketball highlights to 625. And then yeah, we'll just kind of go with this on the fly. On the fly. Deborah. Yeah. You should do it along with coffee. And realize eventually you don't have feelings anymore. I don't feel feelings. .616 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. All right, if you were following the early signing period, the opening of the early signing period yesterday, hopefully you were doing so over at LouisianaSports.net. They were doing a fantastic job of tracking everything. And Hunt Palmer was kind of manning the ship, as it were, as news was breaking throughout the day. We had the live signing tracker up there. In fact, it's still up there right now. Here's what we got going on as far as signing day is concerned. We're going to lean a little bit on our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network for this as well. Braden Allen, the four-star wide receiver, big name added to the class, signed with LSU yesterday on day one of the signing period. Now, he's a big name because he was committed to Oklahoma going into last weekend, decommitted the night Lane Kiffin was hired. Allen, by the way, says he's happy to play for the purple and gold and go ahead and stay in his home state.
It's great. LSU has been my dream school since I was a kid. And who doesn't want to play in wide receiver? You as a receiver. So I just want to go over there and create a name for myself and be great at LSU.
And so you got to wonder why he was at Oklahoma to begin with. But Allen met with Kiffin Sunday night as the new coaching staff, pushed to get his commitment, trying to flip him. Allen says he's ready to ride the Lane train.
I'm real excited to play with Lane Kiffin. I feel like there's nobody like him. He's one of the best coaches in the game right now. And him coming to Baton Rouge to LSU, I feel like he'll definitely win a couple national championships over here.
And Allen's only one of the class that was landed, or I should say the 10 names that were landed yesterday. By the way, got one more cut from Allen real quick. He says there's a lot to like about this new offensive system coming in.
I like how he likes to get the ball out to players in space, and he likes to rotate with receivers. So me being able to go over there and know I could go and play big-time football with offensive genius, it's a really great feeling.
So to go along with Allen, you've got Jabari Mack, four-star receiver out of New Orleans. You got Bryson Martinez, four-star offensive tackle out of Gonzales. Corey Barber from Pinson, Alabama, was an Ole Miss commit and flipped over. He's another four-star receiver. Cornerback Desrian Ellis out of Winsboro inked his name yesterday. Isaiah Washington out of South Haynesville. Safety out of Haynesville. You see an S period Haynesville. That's where I got jammed up. Aiden Hall, another safety. He's out of New Orleans. J.C. Anderson from Decatur, Illinois. He's a tight end. A 6'7" tight end, by the way. Ryan Moret. Yep. I know this was coming. Ryan Moret, offensive lineman out of Miami. Richard Anderson, that big defensive lineman out of New Orleans. And Haven Finney from L.A., Los Angeles, big four-star cornerback, penned his name too. So early signing period rolls on. LouisianaSports.net has got all of the updates throughout. We're going to take a quick break to stay on time. We'll check the Fox Business Report. I'll check traffic. When we come back, LSU men's basketball, first true road game last night. They keep the winning streak alive. We'll have highlights next. All right, give me 1.6. Uh, 1.9. Trying to think of things that aren't DJ Thomas. 2.2. 2.7. We're gonna blow out the job story because this is gonna take the whole segment because there's a story to tell. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's me. All right, let's get you that quick check of traffic because it is a wet start to the morning. Oftentimes, wet starts means adverse conditions on the road, and that's exactly what we're looking at this morning. You got a lot heavier than normal volume on I-12 westbound coming in. Denham Springs, you're actually going to find some slowdowns by the Range Avenue on-ramp. So, essentially between the off-ramp and the off-ramp, if the off-ramp and the on-ramp, if you're coming in from the west side, I'm sorry, if you're coming in east to west on I-12 westbound, it's going to stay heavy on 12 all the way through. It's going to be a little bit stop and go as you get closer to Sherwood Forest. Picks back up a little bit on the way into the 10-12 merge. I-10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish looks great, as does I-10 eastbound coming across from West Baton Rouge. I-110 is smooth sailing this morning as well. So right now on our interstates, the only real problems that we're looking at right now are 12 westbound. And amidst those, about 20 minutes ago, there was an accident. It's in the roadway being worked by BRPD, 12 westbound at Essen Lane. So just before the 10-12 merge, you're going to find an accident right there. You can work your way around it, but just know that it's there and be very aware because, wet roads. Surface streets, we're looking out for 2 accidents right now. One of them happened about an hour ago. That would be Rafemeyer Road at Scotland Zachary Highway. I don't know if I have that right or not. Baker PD is working on that one. And then here in town, or over in Central, I should say, Sullivan Road and Hooper Road, there's an accident from about 10 minutes ago. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. .624 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. It is a wet start to your Thursday, but we all are also looking ahead to Friday. Why is that? Talk 107.3 is your home for Ken Trahan's original prep football report. Get live in-game updates, a full statewide scoreboard, and check-ins with correspondents from every corner of the state. Friday nights this fall from 6 to 11 p.m. Yes, that's 5 solid hours. Ken Trahan's original, presented locally by Dr. Pepper and the Harold Perkins Jr. tuition program on Talk 107.3 FM. Hey, Cade, Cade, got a question for you, my man.
Sure.
Catholic High's on the air tomorrow night on 104.5.
Yes, sir.
They have Edna Carr.
They do.
You saw what Edna Carr did yesterday?
Well, they had a ton of guys that are at least committed. I'm assuming they all sent in their facts.
Yeah.
A lot of defensive guys, big guys in their defense.
15 D1 commitments from Edna Carr. 15 D1 commitments from Edna Carr?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like Cheech and Chong, they're loaded.
Bro, you will that's more than you have on the defensive side of the football, to be sure.
Yeah,
So.
they've been dominating teams all year. Look, I think like it's all about matchups in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Catholic High certainly has a shot, and they're looking to redeem themselves. I think they lost by 2 points last year.
Okay.
And was it a quarterfinal game against Carr? But Carr has just been incredibly talented this year. And yeah, that goes to show the level of talent they have and where it'll be at the next level.
All right, let's go Bears tomorrow night on the on our sister station 104.5 ESPN.
Yeah.
God, that's a tall order though, man. That is a tall order.
Would that
All
be
right.
a venti?
It would be a venti.
Fair enough.
Absolutely. All right, LSU men's basketball was on the road last night. First true road game of the season. You had a couple of games played in Niceville, Florida, but it was neutral court. SEC ACC Challenge was last night, and LSU stepped up to the challenge. Well, I said SEC ACC Challenge was last night. It was actually the last 2 nights in a row. First night, ACC had the best of the SEC, 6-3. Last night, it was, I believe they evened it all back out completely, or did the SEC actually comes out to win the SEC ACC Challenge by pulling down 5 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 7 games last night. So overall, 9 wins for the SEC, 7 for the ACC. What?
I was going to refer to our math question.
The math, yeah. Well, I'm holding a pencil in one hand, so I couldn't count on both hands. LSU is one of those teams that wins it last night. 78-69, your final score. It did take overtime to get it done. I was talking with Condon before the show this morning. He's like, I'm really liking this LSU basketball team. He's like, but it took overtime to beat Boston College. Well, yeah, you had a lot of factors go into that. Number 1, it's your first true road game of the season. Number 2, it's your first game without Jalen Reed. How do you respond to that? And number 3, if you followed the course of the game, and I actually produced this one for the LSU Sports Radio last night. If you followed the course of the game, LSU was in command of this the whole time. Boston College had a really strong run in the second half where they couldn't miss. They went from 36% shooting from the floor to 48% shooting from the floor in a matter of 5 minutes at a time where LSU was just coming up dry. So if you were following the game, it was on the ACC network, and I don't know who has the ACC network, but if you were, of course, it was on Eagle 98.1 as well. But if you're following the game, there was never a time where even when LSU lost the lead, and I believe they went down by 5 at one point, even when they lost the lead, there was no real panic button hit. Matt McMahon keeping a cool head on the shoulders of his guys. And when it all came down to it, LSU did prevail in overtime. Couple of highlights from the game last night. DJ Thomas is going to be a name you're hearing all season long. He was phenomenal last night. 23 points overall, 7 assists to go with that. He can effectively cut, slash, drive to the basket, finish, and head to the free throw line like he did in the first half on this one.
Across the mid-stripe, left side of the floor. Now slowly, high hip dribble, move to his right. Speed it up, little crossover down the right lane. Spins to his left, gets the shot up, and it is good. And again, will draw the foul. Another and one opportunity for DJ, who is putting on a clinic here against BC, guard on guard. It's now a 10-point lead for the Tigers, 29-19, with a free throw upcoming.
Free throw upcoming was the only free throw he missed on the whole night. Thomas was 7 of 8 from the line. Let's go back to Thomas because he's not just doing it on the drive. He's also doing it with the pass. I did tell you 7 assists. He hit Robert Miller III for this one.
Now to Tamba, back to Thomas, weaves his way through 2 defenders, lobs it up and laying it in softly. Rob Miller with 1 second, and that'll end the first half of action. They got the lob they were looking for, and DJ Thomas just knifing his way through.
I said this during the post game last night. A giggling John Brady is the best John Brady because you know you just witnessed really good basketball. When you have that that little giggle of satisfaction, you know what just happened on the court was really good. LSU will take on Texas Tech this weekend. Here's news. We're gonna kill the mics for a second. Yeah. Oh my word. We need to give away some books. Yeah. Mafia Secrets.
Sopranos are running the Max is running a Sopranos marathon right now, and I watched the first 3 episodes last
Had you
night.
not seen it, or you
yes,
watched?
I've
Okay.
watched it all twice, but
All right.
I've gone through the whole series twice, but just to go back and watch the first couple episodes.
To go back and watch the pilot is so stupid because they're sitting there at Satriali's and Syl walks up and, hey, what are you doing here? You mean one of the 3 places we hang out all the time? What am I doing here? Gabriella sends me down for the gabagool. Hey, you remember that guy from high school, Artie Bucco? like he hadn't seen him since high school, but he's in Vesuvio every other week. There's a lot that like, and I understand it was a pilot that was written without like knowing the development of the characters and whatnot. It's just any continuity errors all popped up in that one show. What? Oh, I gotta get into that one.
I remember watching a little bit as a kid, but I don't have a full grasp of, oh, well, this should have been this. And, to dance should have been this. But you do see like offset things or things that like kind of take away from the magic. So
Yeah.
maybe there was a little carefree.
'Cause ever since the College Drive flyover, I feel like there's less of it. I don't know if they've got to go back in and redo that. You know what we need to do? We need to call out Rodney Mallett and be like, hey, yeah, striping on it's worse eastbound than it is westbound. Striping, or is it both? I know when I go to like come home from LSU last night before the 10-12 split, like I can't tell if I'm in a lane or not. And it scares the hell out of me at 10 o'clock at night because number one, is there going to be a cop right after the split that's like, this guy's all over the road? And number two, is there an 18-wheeler who can see the striping and he's just going to. 637 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP on this rainy Thursday morning. We're going to keep you moving as we do every Thursday. It's time for a Cup of Tech Gumbo. Welcome aboard, Haggai. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
How's the drive in? Because I know what the weather's like when I come in at right before 5 o'clock. So here at coming up on 6. Well, as you were coming in just before 6:30,
It's wet.
it's still wet. All right.
Yeah. And the trains are out there on. I got caught behind a train and sat there for 5 minutes watching cars going by in the rain as the windshield wipers going.
Yeah.
Fun morning.
Awesome stuff. Glad to have you in. We got a lot to talk about today. I kind of want to start with going right back to the top of the rundown, and that is 500 million Microsoft users are saying no to Windows 11. What's that about?
Okay, so Windows 11 or Windows 10 rather went end of support October 14th, almost 6 weeks ago, almost 2 months ago now. And Microsoft is telling everyone they needed to upgrade to Windows 11. If you have a computer that has the TPM, the Trusted Platform Module 2.0 chip on the motherboard, any computer less than 5 years old certainly can upgrade. And it's about security. But 500 million people who have computers that can upgrade have chosen not to.
What are they doing instead?
They're just running Windows 10 because they like Windows 10.
Okay.
And there's another 500 million computers that cannot upgrade and are still running Windows 10. So there's still a billion computers that are out there that are just telling Microsoft, no, we're not going to upgrade to Windows 11.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft's biggest problem is they've not made a compelling reason for everyone to upgrade to Windows 11. I spent a year and a half trying to tell clients, hey, look, Windows 11 is coming. Let's get prepared. It's about security. They're not going to be releasing any more security updates after October 14th. And then Microsoft decided, oh, well, okay, for $30 a year, we'll go ahead and continue to release limited security updates.
Let's talk about that, because to me, I feel like that is giving the customer what they want. If Microsoft says, okay, clearly you like the original Coke recipe better than the new Coke, we're going to go back to Coca-Cola Classic.
Well, exactly. And I mean, Microsoft has bungled this on every opportunity they can.
Yeah.
They've not done a good job of communicating to the client base out there. They've not done a good job communicating to the IT community as to why this is a good thing, why you want to go and do this. And so now here's for $30, you can get your updates. It's not going to be as good as the updates for security that are Windows 11, but go ahead and just stay with your Windows 10 if you want. So they've made the IT community, who's been telling everybody you need to upgrade, they've made us look kind of ridiculous. Like, well, haha, you were wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Microsoft caved on us. And so it's not been a good thing that what Microsoft has done with Windows 10.
No, but while it hasn't been a good thing, the responding to consumers is a good thing, because I find that when you look at so much in the world of tech, the response to consumers is nil. And as a consumer, we just have to adapt to what's new. Whenever Meta wants to make changes to Facebook, or whenever, I don't know, let's say Elon Musk buys Twitter and insists on calling it stupid X, like, I still call it Twitter, but there's never a time where to put it in sports terms, you never see the call overturned.
Right.
This is overturning the call.
It really is. And it's frustrating that Microsoft would go ahead and cave like this. And so you've told the business community, yeah, instead of going out and buying that $1,400 laptop or whatever you would spend on whatever particular laptop, just spend $30 and you'll be fine. And so you've made the IT community, the ones who support Microsoft, look, ridiculous.
Well, I understand that part. I get that part.
But even to the consumer market, if you at the house and you've been hearing these stories, oh, I got to go out and get a new computer. I got to get a new computer. Microsoft, whoa, for $30, I don't have to go spend $1,500 on a new computer. Hey, I can do that.
Yes. Yeah. They have bungled their way into the right decision. It would have been much, much easier to say, we're going to extend Microsoft 10 by $30 or whatever, but along the way, we're going to show you the benefits of 11 to help walk you across this finish line.
There's never been a good, compelling reason for Windows 11 to begin with.
Let's talk about that. What are the differences? What makes 11 makes 11 stand out?
There's more security features in it.
Okay.
Inside the code, there's more security in Windows 11 than there is in Windows 10.
Are the security features necessary?
Not for a full upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. You could have had those same security features. You could have had most of those features in Windows 10 and just continued to use Windows 10.
See, yeah.
But when Microsoft went to the new chip on the motherboard, the Trusted Platform Module 2.0, because for the longest it was TPM 1, then 1.2, but somewhere around 2018, 2019, they came out with the 2.0 chip. And that's when, okay, you're going to have to go to Windows 11 to really get the full benefit of the TPM 2.0. And so that's what has caused all of the need to go to Windows 11. Well, when you have 1 billion users out there saying, I don't think so, that's kind of telling Microsoft, hey, we're sitting back, we're waiting on Windows 12 at this point.
Is that in the works?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know it's always in the works, but have they released any information about how close it could be?
Nothing recent.
ETA?
There's been several articles written and released by insiders who know what's going on in Microsoft, that Windows 12 is in development, and it's all being written with artificial intelligence built into the code. So it's going to be an AI first.
Awesome.
It's gonna, they want the computer to talk to you and you talk to it instead of using keyboards. There's already a feature that Windows just rolled out in Windows 11 that's doing away with passwords. So like when you first start up your Windows 11 computer, if you got the updates that came out in August, the little box that you first thing you see where you put in your password does not appear on the screen anymore.
Why not?
They want you to go to passkeys.
Oh, good.
They want you to use the Windows Hello. They want you to use the thumb scan or finger scan. They want you to put in, something, a multi-factor authentication.
Where would you thumb scan?
Well, a lot of computers have that. If your computer doesn't have that, but you do have the onboard camera, you can use the Windows Hello, which is your biometric, your facial recognition.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, I do that on my phone all day long.
Absolutely, and it's a good thing. Now, if you take your mouse and you hover where the password box used to be, all of a sudden it will appear, and you can go back and put in your password. But here's the
what kind of Super Mario Brothers secret world is that?
This thing passes it fails the grandmother test, because my mom calls me or calls my son and says, "Hey, I can't log in. Where's my password? I don't know how to put my password in." And I'm like, "Mom, you're crazy. Like it's right there on the screen." "No, it's not." "Well, when you remote in, you see it's not there."
Right.
Oh my God, my mother was right. My 90-year-old mom was right. Microsoft took away the damn login screen. And then, but if you hover over it, oh, it's there now. And so again, Microsoft bungles this thing at every possible chance. Redmond, just get it right, please, for once.
My goodness.
And I'm a Microsoft guy. I like Microsoft. Please don't misunderstand. I like Microsoft. But this is just frustrating as all get out.
Allegra, I can't put in my password. Oh, man. All right. Well, that's where we're at on Microsoft 11. I got to move over to something that I find fascinating from just before the segment you were mentioning during the break. You're rewatching Sopranos.
Yeah.
All right. How about this headline? Crime ring enlists hackers to hijack trucks.
So the freight industry is notorious for using emails and text messages for everything.
Uh-huh.
And what these hackers are doing is they're hacking into email systems. They're not getting into the actual system. They're finding the emails and they're replying inside one of these emails with their own code. And when somebody opens or clicks on that, now they are inside the system. And instead of where in The Sopranos, Paulie Walnuts gets a tip that, hey, this truck is moving from here to there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are seeing it real time. They see when the truck is leaving the dock. They see what's on the truck, what time it's going, what the route is. And they're just finding the truck, pulling it over, and they're making the heist that way.
Do they even have to pull it over, or like, because if we're moving towards autonomous trucks, I mean, we're not far away from.
We are not far from that.
Poindexter bumping Cerro.
Well, so there are already the trucks going from Dallas to Houston all day that are autonomous trucks.
Can those be hacked and rerouted?
If the firewall on those trucks is not done well, yes.
Oh, I mean, this is the new mafia right here, man.
Forget about it.
Bro, this is like,
yes.
I mean, if this is like the mafia's about to make a comeback, because when you A, leave that world open for it to be hacked, and B, put a bunch of Teamsters out of work.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, if it's
reboot The Sopranos, let's go.
Oh, it would, it's fascinating that they're using technology to do.
Oh, we ran long. Okay, finish.
Just to use, the old fashioned, hey, we're going to go heist a truck.
Right.
They're doing it high tech. They know exactly where the truck is based upon times. And I mean, they can just sit there on the side of the road. Oh, there's our truck. Let's get him.
Right. But see, this way, Brendan Fallone can't take out the driver.
Oh, yeah.
And then they wouldn't have had to return the suits.
Brendan caught a bullet last night.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Spoilers!
Spoiler, episode 3.
We're coming up on 650 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. So we're going to flip-flop the break here. We'll do your money now first, then we'll check traffic. Come back, we'll have a good 4 minutes left with Haggai Davis. We do a Cup of Tech Gumbo about this time every single week. When we come back, you remember the old words you can't say on the air? Well, we got different words you can't say on the internet. That's next. Couldn't have been better that you're rewatching The Sopranos, because when you sent that over last night, I'm like, there's no way we're not talking about this. And we're going to have that's a fun segment to have, because I don't know, if instantly I'm like, the mafia is going to start infiltrating like cyber nerds in college.
Sure, why
Like,
not?
that's Poindexter Bumpin' Cero is going to be a thing.
I mean, when I was reading the article the first time, I was thinking The Sopranos. I was thinking about them pulling trucks over and
You can't hit Comley Trucking. Comley Trucking's belonged to Junior for years.
But this is a good looking suit. Do you think this suit got to go back?
Stone. What's the problem if this one go back?
You know, hey. Absolutely.
Oh, and we got a mafia guy coming up later on in the show.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Oh, theme of the day.
Yeah, well, we didn't have a theme when we started the show this morning.
Well, now you know.
So
Looking forward to going home and watching.
that's the well, he's pre-recorded.
Uh-huh.
So. His name's Gianni Ruusso. Book's called Mafia Secrets. If you want a copy, you can have a copy. So he was connected to Frank Costello. These are great stories all the way through about like the murder of Marilyn Monroe, murder of JFK, RFK, all kinds of stories throughout. But here's the thing, though. He was also an actor. He played Carlo in The Godfather, Connie's husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yep, there he is right there. And I started the interview. So this is the second time I've interviewed him. He wrote a novel called The Sixth Family. It was really good. Wrote it about 2 years ago, I guess. So got him back on for this one. And yes, I start the interview by saying, "Hello, Carlo," like Clemenza.
Cool. Yeah. Look forward to that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
There you go, Sonny. Sonny's right. Stop trying to make Windows 11 look like a Mac. And it's actually 88% of the market share of the actual computers when you take the smartphones out.
Yeah.
Because Macs make up about 8% and Linux actually makes up about 4%.
Cade, do you have a bleep, like a beep sensor? Hang on. I wish I would have come up with this sooner. If we don't get it, we don't get it. It's no big deal.
I mean, I can pull up a silence like thing in editor, but I don't have
I need one that's like about 10 seconds long. No. All right. Skip it. That's on me. I thought of it too late. All right. Mute my computer. Red long on the front end, so we got to keep it tight on the back end for a Cup of Tech Gumbo. Haggai Davis hanging out with us for another 4 minutes or so. Back in the, I believe it was the mid-'70s, George Carlin came out with a stand-up comedy bit saying about the 7 words that you can't say on television. Well, you can't say them on radio either, so we're not going to list them right now.
Oh, okay.
But in the world of the internet, there are apparently words you can't say there either, and the workarounds are stupid. The workarounds are about as dumb as edited versions of movies on TV, where you want to get these melon farming snakes off this melon farming plane.
So there was a guy, his name, what was his name? Adam Alexic
Okay.
wrote a book called Algo Speak: How Social Media is Transforming the Future of Language.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is all about what happens on the social media platforms.
Yes.
And in Algo Speak, if you start using words like ugly or dumb or retard or something like that that's not very politically nice,
Mm-hmm.
the algorithms downgrade your content.
Yes. If they
or
don't-
non-monetize you.
Oh, yes. Yes. Or they just delete your post altogether.
And so you can't say you killed someone. You have to say I unlived them or
Unalived.
unalived.
them.
And you can't use the word guns. You have to say pew pews
Right.
or silly things like that, so that you when on TikTok, back as ICE was doing all of the raids and they would have protests in California, instead of saying, hey, we're going to protest ICE, they would have music festivals about ICE.
Yep.
Or so when you're changing the way people speak in these social media platforms, and they're coming up with these ridiculous things instead of using the actual words of what's happening.
Which the intent was there. The intent was right. Okay. The intent was to, if you saw someone talking about how they were going to inflict harm on others, you don't want that to spread virally. You don't want that harm to be spread on your website. How do you censor without censoring?
It's all about the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to get around the algorithms because artificial intelligence is combing across all of the content that's created on, and it doesn't matter if it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever social media platform it is. They're all out there combing across, listening for keywords.
Mm-hmm.
And when these words happen and there's nothing official, there's nothing written, but if you use some of these words in your content, you're going to get a notification from whatever platform saying your video has been downgraded.
What's baffling is like how the words. What's baffling is that how the words can change from time to time.
Yes.
It's like something as simple as a 3-letter word that consenting adults participate in from time to time. Can be changed to the word eggs with an S in front of it.
Yes.
It's dumb.
Just anything that they can do to get around the hot words, the buzzwords that you can't use. That's what they're doing.
Right.
Algo speak,
meaning you're not going to feed the algorithm, but everyone adapts so quickly. Everyone knows what you're talking about so quickly. The fact that you can't say guns, but you say pew pews.
Yep.
That doesn't change the fact that you're talking about a gun.
Not at all. And it's amazing how quickly society can adapt to something like this. You can't talk about the pedophiles like Epstein. You have to call him a PDF.
Yes. Yep.
He's a PDF.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a pedophile.
And therein you lose the impact of your message. Oh, by the way, full serving of Tech Gumbo coming up Saturday and Sunday right here, of course, everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. He's Haggai Davis. We do this every week. Always appreciate your time, brother.
Thanks, Brian.
Hour 2. Sorry, that was gonna be a shorter segment.
Oh, that's all right.
I liked where it was going, but it wasn't. Oh wait, Kate. I liked where it was going, but I didn't know like if he had a continued list. So I liked where it was. he was censoring your guns and
Oh,
so you can't say, and he was pulling the buzzer over it, but you can say this.
okay.
It was very well done. I just didn't know where you were headed after that. I thought, well, that's okay though, because the segment sounds fine without it. It's better with it, but it's fine without it. You want to pull a day while I'm gone over the holidays?
I have some time available. Sure.
I don't know yet because Christmas is the middle of the week. So, yeah. The weekend between Christmas and New Year's. Oh, actually, the way it plays out, I might take that Monday and Tuesday as well. No, I was taking the week between. I always take the week between Christmas and New Year's. And Dixon's got one day. So I think we only need to cover the 28th, 29th, and 30th.
Yeah, let me know which day.
Okay. Oh, sorry. The 20. So are we doing Christmas Day and Christmas the day after Christmas? Oh, those are all off and pre-recorded. Okay. So just the 20, because New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, I'd be off as well. Or would be pre-recorded as well, right? Yeah. All right. So the 29th and 30th. You want the 30th? Tuesday? Okay. Done and done. Students will not attend mass today due to weather. That's what I thought. Is it today a holy day of obligation? Or I don't know. Maybe that's a heads up for tomorrow. They're projecting tomorrow's forecast. I don't know. I didn't read it. I just saw the text. Yeah. Chip and I get a haircut at the same place. Chip Klein used to head up Coastal Restoration. The girls over at Glamour Cuts, they're just goofy and fun and awesome at what they do, and true American success story, like first generation from Vietnam, family owned business. Glamour Cuts used to be right next to Drusilla. You know how in between they got the hair place before it was the one it was now. It was Glamour Cuts years ago. They have their own building now off Jefferson. Anyway, I walk in to get my hair cut the other day, and before I could say hello to everybody, one of the women goes, and I'm like, she points at Chip's getting his hair cut. She's way here. And then you go in the back and get your hair washed after getting it cut. And she scoots me over. She goes, go wash his hair. So they put the hot towel over your head so you can't see, like so it's over your eyes. And I go back there and turn the water on, and Chip goes, man, hot towel, cold water. So I start rubbing his head a little bit. He goes, man, that water's cold. And I like lean all the way in, put my mouth like right next to her hair. I go, is it too cold for you? What the hell? Oh, the whole crew over there, Glamour Cuts, like that was just cackle laughing, cramp laughing. Tronies is good. Mercy family, if I'm not mistaken. Huh? 7:05, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. A continued wet hour 2 out there. You heard both the forecast and the traffic update. Traffic update, probably the bigger story to start off your morning, is that it is rough out there. Broadcasted live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros. Is it time for your IT to do a 180? Hit up 180pros.com. We got a lot of ground to cover this hour, and things are going to move fast. Rowdy Gaudet from the Metro Council could be on the hotline in our next segment. We are going to talk about the budget a little bit. Going to have Don Coppola in for Crimestopers at 7:35. And before the hour rounds out, we're going to talk with Kyle Callihan. It looks like we've got a new Christmas parade coming to downtown Baton Rouge. We'll chat about that for a couple minutes. Right now, though, we start off the hour with top stories and trending. Do what? Okay. A recently released audit of the Department of Children and Family Services Child Support Enforcement Program ranked Louisiana among the worst U.S. states and territories that collected child support payments. According to the Louisiana Legislative Auditor, Louisiana ranked number 52 out of 54 states and territories in the collection of current child support. We ranked number 47 in the collection of past due child support. These numbers are from last year. Takes you over to Tangipahoa Parish, where 5 people were arrested in Hammond yesterday after a search led to green fentanyl and opioids being found in homes with children, according to the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office. Deputies began investigating the suspicious activity at 2 different mobile homes on Hood Road in Hammond. Alongside Hammond PD, Parish County Line Task Force, they found green fentanyl, more than half a pound of suspected marijuana, as well as scales and packaging materials, synthetic cannabinoid and opioid pills as well. There were 5 people arrested on numerous drug charges. By the way, according to the deputies, 5 children between the ages of 1 and 13 were in the home where the drugs were available. An inmate at the Ascension Parish Jail died after deputies said he was attacked by a 56-year-old Stacy LeBlanc, who was another inmate. The inmate who died, the inmate who was killed, was Charlie Stafford. He had recently pleaded guilty to oral sexual battery with a victim under 13. This incident happened more than 10 years ago now. There's no shortage of unanswered questions about this case. This case has been strung out on different arguments along the way. What other connections from possibly outside the prison to get to inside the prison? What were the connections between Stacy LeBlanc and Charlie Stafford? There's a whole lot that still has to be answered about the story. Short story is Stacy LeBlanc is facing manslaughter charges as Stafford's death is investigated. Louisiana's Revenue Secretary Richard Nelson has been tapped to serve as the next president of the Louisiana Community and Technical College System. Nelson was voted into the position yesterday by the LCTCS board. He'll assume leadership of the state's community and technical college system on January 1, meaning we are going to need a new revenue secretary. The first arrests have been made in Operation Swamp Sweep or Catahoula Crunch or Rougarou Roundup or whatever we're calling it these days. As expected, ICE agents made their first visits to home improvement stores in the New Orleans area. The Lowe's in Metairie and the Lowe's on Elysian Fields were 2 of the first reported locations. Guessing today they'll hit up Home Depots, where doers go to get things done. I mean, day one of the ice raids, okay? Day one of the ice raids.
Mm-hmm.
And you're picking people up in Lowe's parking lots.
This is not like a Disney play, like with Elsa out there. Just
no.
This
That's
actually
Frozen. This is ice.
Okay.
This is ice. Ice.
You know what's the best ice? Hanson Snow Blizz, New Orleans.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not Hanson's. What's the one? That's,
the one by Tulane is probably the one that.
No. I'm all about Metairie Road by Bonneville.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it right now, but
me neither.
There's about 3 of them that are really good. And don't call it a snow cone either.
No, but here's the thing though. It's the first day of the ice raids.
First day, yeah.
And everybody showed up for work. Everybody showed up to the Lowe's parking lot. No fear, no intimidation. I'm here to work and make my life better for my family. Aren't those the people you want? I mean, they might also be murderers. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know the background.
Me neither.
Yeah,
but damn it, they showed up to work.
Speaking of work, I don't know. This is
No,
not transition.
there's no segue here. Just go.
Naval Admiral Frank Bradley is scheduled to hold classified briefings for senior members of the Senate and House Armed Services Committee today.
This is about that Venezuelan drug boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one, right? The
The second shot.
Yeah.
Where he went all Hans Gruber on it.
He did. And we'll see.
Hit it again.
If you need help doing some math, don't ask a recent high school grad or Brian. A new study has found that a third of college freshmen can't even do basic middle school math. It's not even fifth grade level, Brian.
Okay, so first of all, I take offense to that.
My apologies.
I math like nobody else, man. I take pride in my math. I do.
What's up with that math is not mathing thing?
Math is not mathing.
I'm such an old man, but math is not mathing.
Right.
What? That's not a thing.
It doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Say it doesn't add up. The math isn't math. Although I will say I use that phrase from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Ramsey kind of use it the other day, and I was wondering, like, well, what's gotten into him?
Dave's gotten hip.
Hey,
what are your favorite baby steps? 6, 7.
Oh, geez. It's official. The quest for Ozempic body has gone too far, as now women are turning to having ribs surgically removed to alter their physique. How much for one rib?
So apparently they're removing ribs number 11 and 12.
Okay.
And I guess that's why they call them spare ribs.
Hey.
Oh. But the before and after pictures really aren't impressive. Like it doesn't look better this way, but it's causing all kinds of health problems.
You can just go into UFC boxing or something like that, or MMA.
Who knew removing bones from your body could be a problem? You know, that whole skeleton thing that protects the rest of us.
I'm going to be honest. I understand that what a lot of this is for someone who is in a situation where, hey, I'm going to see a doctor. I've got to lose something. I need something to jumpstart this fast. I've got to make major changes. Fine. But man, you're taking it through. I'd rather be, I guess, if it's a matter of being who I am right now in the shape I'm in or taking out a rib, I'm going to go with just being this and not removing the rib, because I feel like, that's the defense. And there's organs and there's things.
We have lungs behind those ribs. We have a heart behind those ribs. There's a reason those ribs are there. It's not just for show. Oh, it's gross too.
Yeah.
Super gross. We're going to take a quick break. Before we take that break, though, got to remind you about the folks over at Vex European, VEX. VexEuropean.com is the website if you want to get yourself started right there. Who needs Vex European? Anybody that drives a European vehicle. Visit VexEuropean.com, look for your make a vehicle under the little vehicles tab, and then hit the little appointments tab. It's right over to the right. It's super duper simple. I don't just speak on behalf of Vex European. I use them. I was there about 2.5 weeks ago. Had a squeaky belt on my 18-year-old Mercedes, and you got to take that seriously. You get a car that old, and rubber can rot. So went over to Vex, got everything taken care of. Sat down in the little waiting area, which is unbelievably comfortable. They got a couch. They got a bunch of chairs. They got the Wi-Fi if you want to knock out some work. Sit there and watch TV. Otherwise, if you don't, and I grabbed a little granola bar and a Coke Zero, and I was good to go. If you want to give them a call, you can do so at 225-800-4706. That's 800-4706. They're located on Benefit Drive. That's kind of the backside of Industrialplex. But I would just start at VexEuropean.com. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, that's him. Yep. Thanks, Haggai. left all my budget notes upstairs. I'm gonna have to do this on the fly. $716 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hey, whether it's Baton Rouge blunders or DC drama, Moon's got the hot takes and the hometown humor to keep you laughing and thinking. No fluff, no filter, just Moon being Moon. Listen and subscribe on all your favorite platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. You can also catch every episode at talk1073.com. All right, we are rapidly approaching the time where the Metro Council has to vote on the city parish budget. So let's welcome back to the show Metro Councilman-Rowdy Gaudet to talk about it. How are you, sir?
Hey, Brian, I'm doing well. Good morning. Give me, please, some grace. The rain has complicated my kid drop-off.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm doing a couple of things here, but I'm doing great. Good to talk with you. How are you?
I'm doing well as well. And yes, absolutely. Taking care of the carpool is job number one. So yeah. I appreciate you.
Rain's not helping.
It's not. And when I texted back and forth with you yesterday, I did not realize it would still be raining during morning drive. So thank you for accommodating on this end. So what's the latest on the budget?
We had our fourth budget hearing last night. The council met, had our fourth budget hearing. In terms of process, we're headed towards December 9th meeting where we will ultimately adopt the budget. There will likely be between now and then, I guess if I had a crystal ball, there'll be some changes to some of the amounts within certain departments and agencies within the budget. But ultimately, we've held 4 public hearings for different entities to come before the council to discuss their budget, in most cases, plead for additional budget. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, we're headed towards a December 9th final vote on the budget, either as amended at that time or as it's submitted. Brian, the thing I've been telling folks about this budget, I'll talk about 2 big things, which is sort of the overarching budget that's before us. And then number 2, I think what most listeners, and certainly as I'm talking to homeowners in the district that I represent, what they're most interested in is, well, what does it mean for me? How does it impact me? But, in terms of the budget, what we have before us is not a political budget by any means. This is not politics. We essentially are doing math. I mean, that's what the council's job is right now. Mm-hmm. The pie of the budget is the pie that we have. And so, for instance, last night, we had a couple of entities who were involved in public safety and assisting with the criminal justice system come before us. Like I said, they pleaded their case for additional budget. And, as council members, of course, we want to say, yeah, we need to get you additional budget so you can keep doing the good work that you're doing. The reality is the math means if we're going to give more to that agency, we've got to look to another agency to take away from.
Right.
If we're giving 10,000 additional to this entity here, that means somebody else is giving, or some other agencies are giving up an amount equal to 10,000. There's no additional money out there. So that's what I've been telling folks is like I just said a minute ago, this isn't about politics right now. This is about doing math. We've got a balanced budget, Brian, and the reality is we could adopt it next Tuesday as it currently stands. Okay, the budget we have before us is balanced, and we could adopt it next Tuesday. And what we are going to have to do as a Metro Council over the course of the next year, because we're sort of in an unprecedented area where this significant of a cut at such an expeditious period for our local parish government means that we're going to have to revisit this budget almost monthly throughout the course of next year. It'll probably be about every 2 months, but we're going to have to be coming back, revising the budget as reality of numbers set in. And so, look, that's the job we're going to have to do.
We're talking with Rowdy Gaudet, Metro Councilman, about the budget, which is going to be adopted coming up 1 week from yesterday. Rowdy, what kind of amendments are we looking at here? What kind of changes are still possible?
Yeah, so it would be, as I said, these different entities that have come before us and said, for instance, last night, one of the entities had approximately a 50% budget cut. It's the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council. They, as I said, they coordinate all of the different criminal justice agencies, and they came before us and made a very effective presentation. They show a return on their investment. They are doing things to prevent crime in the future, and so they see themselves, very rightfully so, as part of the overall crime prevention system.
Mm-hmm.
And a 50% cut to them is a very drastic thing for them to take. And so they came before us and said, we would essentially, of 3 to 4 personnel, we'd be down to 1, maybe 1.5, and we don't know if we can sustain with that level of personnel. And so, of course, like I said, as a council, we said, well, we got to figure that out. So you will likely see some amendments to that effect, taking from somebody else and then saying, okay, well, let's lessen the cut to this agency in order to, sort of help them out and make sure they can stay surviving. And then, as I said, as we go through next year, continuing to visit the budget. The biggest concern, and folks who have to make business budgets and certainly personal budgets will understand this, is that agency, the Criminal Justice Coordinating, for example, one of many that have come before us, but that agency has to plan for next year based on the budget we adopt. So they don't have certainty going into next year, unless we make some amendments. And so,
right.
So that's what I think you'll see is some adjustments within the budget we have, effectively, just for your listeners to kind of understand, 11% cut essentially across the board to the various agencies, except for police and fire. This mayor president gave us a budget that prioritized public safety, and so those two entities, police, fire, did not have to sustain 11% cut. There may be an appetite to say, let's cut a little bit from those agencies so that we can fund some of these constitutional offices that are underfunded and some of these various other agencies that are seeking additional funding. That's the conversations we've got to enter into between now and when we come together December 9th.
Okay, so I want to use the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council as an example, but without trying to take them down or take them out. I want to understanding that they do good work. Okay, working on that premise. But is there room in the budget to look from top to bottom and say, how many different types of groups are there out there that work on, crime abatement on the front end as opposed to punishing crime on the back end? Because the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council isn't the only crime prevention outlet there is out there. So if they say, well, if you knock us down to 1 or 2 people, I don't know that we can function. Wouldn't there be a want to say, okay, well, there's 4 other groups out there that do something similar to you, not the same as you. Let's combine the dollars down there and get a better focus and kind of reduce redundancy.
In the instance, if there were duplicative services, I would say yes. I mean, certainly go get the head of the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council to come on to tell you about their mission and what they do.
Bear in mind, and that's just, I'm using them as an example. I'm not saying this is the case with them. I'm saying hypothetically, when groups come to you, do we look at from the top to the bottom and say, well, 3 other people do this exact same thing? So
yes, and we very much had that discussion when a nonprofit agency came to us a couple of meetings ago and made their case, and the question was asked, are there other agencies that also do this service that you could look to partner with? The biggest thing there, and look, I'll transition, how do we look at agencies that are duplicating services to, as a parish government, we've got to look at ourselves for that as well. Mm-hmm. With the advent of St. George, that sort of thrust, a $50 million, we don't have that in the budget anymore. We've got to figure this out. We as a parish government have to do that same thing. We recognize that St. George, for instance, has its own public works now. They're standing that service up. And so we're decreasing the area in which parish public works has to cover. And so as we go through next year, we'll be working through that same thing. Well, we don't have to cover those areas anymore. So it's less service area. So let's adjust our staffing so that, we don't have too many staff. Let's adjust the service area. So we'll all be going through sort of this period of, okay, it's a new day and we've got to change how government operates. And of course, we do the same thing when we look at local government. In some instances, funds these outside agencies, nonprofits, things like that. Is that sustainable? You had Spanish Town Parade come before us last night. They pleaded their case. And so, well, how many parades, fairs, festivals does East Baton Rouge have? Can we service them all? If not, then we've got to figure out how we can do this fairly and within the budget constraints that we have. So those are all the conversations that we're having currently, and that will certainly play out over the next year.
Got just a couple minutes left with Rowdy Gaudet from the Metro Council. We're less than a week away from the adoption of a budget. We'll get a much clearer picture of where everybody individually, where they're at after next Wednesday's meeting. But before that, I'm just trying to, throw out a couple of possibilities as to what y'all could be looking at heading into next week. You mentioned the possibility of trimming a little bit off of police and fire. Is that a legitimate possibility? Because, I mean, if you ask the public about anything in Baton Rouge, safety is going to be number one.
Yeah, 100%. And the mayor president took the microphone last night and makes his compelling case. Look, when he was elected, it was on a platform of increasing public safety. And so the budget, this is the first budget that this mayor president has presented to the council. He prioritized public safety. And with a budget shortfall, he did that by saying, let's let them sustain the budget. They didn't get an increase. Let's let them sustain the budget that they had from last year. I think right now there's several options that are going to be on the table. Again, the pie of the budget is what it is. And so if we're going to say, let's make some of these other agencies, give them a little more so that they can sustain through the course of the next year and then start to figure out how they can adjust their business model, then we are going to have to look at some of the areas where either no cuts were made or we're going to go to other agencies and say you're going to take some additional cuts. Brian, if I could, since we only have limited time, the second point I wanted to talk through was, I think people wonder, okay, we talk a lot about this budget and cuts. What does it really mean for me? And so for listeners out there, the services you receive that you pay a fee for that are parish-wide, such as your garbage and such as your sewer services, those are not part of this discussion, right? You pay fees for those, they're parish-wide. Those services won't be impacted or changing. What will be impacted is the one that most people are going to be most familiar with is those public works functions, the maintenance of your roads, your ditches, things like that.
Yeah.
Because, as I said earlier, because this new city of St. George is standing up its public works department, I had an instance this week where a resident reached out and said, hey, I've got a sidewalk that's damaged and, a wheelchair can't get across it. I need some help. And my office would normally field that, but then suddenly realize, oh, wait, that's within the city limits of St. George. That request now needs to go to them to process. And so that resident was then sent to, nope, you now go to your city council person. So the service adjustments there with the city of St. George standing up its services, for those not within the city of St. George, as a parish government, we'll be making adjustments to personnel, service areas for those maintenance, DPW departments. The budgets will affect them. And so we're going to have to keep a keen eye on how service delivery is happening for the city of Baton Rouge and for the unincorporated areas in East Baton Rouge Parish.
It's going to be a process, but we've had to face that. We've avoided facing the truth for far too long. So while it hurts in the short term, it is a kind of a get right measure on the long term. He's Metro Councilman-Rowdy Gaudet. Always appreciate the time, man. Thank you so much for hopping on board.
Brian, thanks for the opportunity. We're going to stay on top of it. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about it.
Well, I'm going to keep pestering you as you do. So we'll talk to you soon.
All right, my friend.
Later on, 7:30, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. I want to get to the point where they're bartering with the budget. Like when a group goes in front of the Metro Council, they say, we need more money. And the Metro Council says, okay, cool. But you got to go volunteer and work for Fred for one day a month. How about that? What you say, Johnny? We'll do a little concert promotion as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go.
I'm not either. Actually, I won't be there because Ned had scheduled this way in advance for my daughter's wedding. The 6th too. So I'm not gonna be there.
See, you should have booked Ned to perform the wedding. Then it would have solved two problems. I'm DJing a Christmas party Saturday night.
Is that the big neighborhood one that's on there? That's Halloween.
Yeah, it's how. Yeah. No, this is for some medical clinic. A little company Christmas party for a medical clinic.
That was part of the problem with her finding a location at her reception. All the Christmas parties.
Boy, and if LSU had made the SEC championship, your guest list would have diminished quickly.
She didn't even think about that. She thought about it. Regular season, she didn't think about this. And the biggest issue had Ole Miss made it because my younger daughter is a cheerleader at Ole Miss. So she would have had to cheer potentially at the SEC championship game, but she's the maid of honor. So I was happy Ole Miss.
Yeah. Boy, didn't miss by much.
No, yeah, Auburn almost beat them. If that would have happened, it would have been a mess. I mean, she would just had to not cheer.
Yeah. If you're near anyone who's exhibiting flu-like symptoms, you're already a day too late. Once they've got the cyst.
So true.
Oh, you know who's coming in after you? Kyle Callihan. Yeah. Yeah, BRG. He's doing some kind of physical fitness thing.
A lot of stuff with, they finally put a gym at police headquarters. You do a lot of wellness stuff.
Yeah.
First responders. Been good. Got started before I retired.
I got to bang out a live read before we start. So I'm running behind. Go to me, bump it into me. I'll knock out a live read for Neuro Justin, then we'll do the opener. .736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Going to get you to Crimestopers in 60 seconds. That'll be enough time for me to tell you about the folks over at NeuroJust. The holidays are upon us, y'all. And while the holidays can be great, they can also be triggers for anxiety or depression. Things that have been kind of bubbling below the surface, then bubbling up over the surface. And if you battle with anxiety or depression, you already know what I'm talking about. That constant fight or flight battle in your mind, that those constant choppy seas, those 6-foot waves that are in your head, metaphorical 6-foot waves that are in your head. Well, if you battle with anxiety or depression, or know someone who does, and they have thus far been treatment resistant, meaning you don't like the way you feel on the antidepressants, or they're just not taking, give NeuroJust a look. They specialize in transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS therapy, it's called. It's sweeping the nation. It's FDA approved. It's non-invasive. 85% response rate. Want to learn more? Visit neurojust.com. NEUROJUST. Neurojust.com. Talk with someone about it, about this very, very side effect free FDA approved therapy. It's called TMS. They do it only at NeuroJust. Time to catch some bad guys. Welcome in, Deputy Chief Johnny Dunham. How are you, sir?
Good, Brian. Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you. You lied. You lied.
No, the weather's not very nice.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a pleasure to be anywhere.
I got drenched on the way in here.
So, well, I appreciate you coming in this morning. I mean, we can't get Don to get out in the rain, but
no, Don's at retrainer. He's getting retrained.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a good thing. We got a lot of ground to cover this morning, but I do want to start off with what's coming up this weekend, because it's not that often that that Crimestopers, by the way, doesn't really go too often with the fundraisers. I mean, you have the lunch, you have the big banquet luncheon,
big luncheon.
We had the Ned Fazzulo did the Bobby Darin show.
Right.
Well, coming up this weekend is Holiday Sinatra. HolidaySinatra.com, and it's not just Frank Sinatra songs, it's the whole Rat Pack and a whole lot more. And if you've ever seen Ned and his orchestra, it is an amazing show. So tell me all about it.
It really is. It's a great show. It's an opportunity for you to have a date night, especially a holiday date night with your significant other, and bring them to see Ned and the orchestra there. And it benefits Crimestopers. You know, the proceeds will benefit us, allow us to pay the rewards for the tips that we get anonymously. So you're having a great night out, and you're benefiting a nonprofit that helps reduce crime in and around the Baton Rouge area.
The set, I mean, they don't have the set list out, but we had Ned on earlier in the week talking about it a little bit, and I'm working Saturday night, and I really wish I wasn't, because I would love to be at this. 7 to 9:30 p.m. at the LSU Union Theater. It is Ned Fazzulo and the fabulous big band orchestra. And I mean, it's the Rat Pack is synonymous with Christmas music.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be
Martin.
Yeah.
You know, Sammy Davis Jr.
From top to bottom. So like you said, the proceeds go towards not just paying out the tips, but the educational programs.
Educational, like Beyond Bars, our Choices and Consequences initiative, where we bring, inmates into local area high schools and community groups to talk to young people about, the consequences of their actions and what it can lead to. A lot of, it can lead to death, or it can lead to imprisonment for the rest of your life.
Don and I have been working a little bit, and we're gonna get this done. We're gonna get Beyond Bars done on the air.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a matter of getting all the logistics in, and I mean, as you can well imagine, there's a lot of moving pieces to get something like that done. But I think once folks get a hold of like just the power of the program,
just the power of the
and
message,
not
just the stories that Dez Kennedy and Rashawn Williams tell about their lives growing up, you know, and the choices that they made in their lives, and you know, they don't want to see young people
yeah,
make those same choices. It initially started because Dez started to see a lot of young people being brought up to the violent crime unit being booked, and he was, you know, he's a trustee status inmate. He does custodial work around the building at the state police, and when he saw that, he came to us and said, "Man, how I'd love to talk to these kids. Well,
Mhm.
you can't really talk to him there. He's not really allowed to. So
right.
we we were able to start this program to allow him to do that. And the first time we went to a local school, just seeing the kids put their phones down and actually listen
hmm
to their message, it was really powerful.
Now, so my first impression when Don first told me about it was like a scared straight thing. This is not that. This is not that at all.
No, it's not really. I mean, he does talk a little bit about prison life in general, but mostly it's about the choices he made in his life and the regrets that he has.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and the consequences. You know, all the things he missed.
it's real and raw, and it's very emotional.
Mhm.
So it's and it's one of the great educational programs that Crime Stoppers takes part in. Which, once again, holidaysinatra.com. Holidaysinatra.com is the website. If you wanted to purchase tickets, there are still great tickets available. The concert's this Saturday, 7 to 9:30 p.m. LSU Union Theater. All right, it is Crime Stoppers. Let's catch some bad guys. Who are we looking for today?
All right. The first person we're looking for is a Christiane Seabolt. She is a white female, born in 1974. She's 5'2", 140 pounds, brown eyes, and black hair. And she is wanted for illegal possession of stolen things from $1,000 to $5,000 and theft of less than $1,000. And basically, what Christiane is wanted for is she went to the GameStop on College Drive and pawned a Apple iPad Pro that was stolen.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the police obviously pawn shop division goes to those locations, checks items that are pawned.
Yeah.
They located the fact that it was stolen. She was paid some money for that, so now the GameStop is out for that money because, of course, the police took the iPad Pro
Well,
back
yeah.
and gave it back to the owner, and now the GameStop's out that money as well.
So really, she stole twice.
Yeah, so that's what the illegal possession of the stolen things, and then the theft of less than $1,000. But she got
Okay.
less than $1,000 for the money that when she, I guess, pawned.
So you think she thought she was being slick? Like, I'm not going to go to a pawn shop because they're in good contact. So I'm going to go to a GameStop instead.
Yeah.
I'm going to best the system here.
Everything has secondhand dealers. If you're going to purchase stuff off of the street, you have
Mhm.
to have a secondhand dealer's license.
Good to know.
And that all of that information is reported.
Good to know. Who else we got?
Second person we have is Darkindris Lanute. And Darkindris is a black male. Date of birth is in 2002. He's 5'2", 130 pounds, brown eyes, black hair. He is wanted for domestic abuse battery. He arrived at a ex-girlfriend's residence, slapped her, did some other things, and then when she was finally able to get away and get inside the house and shut the door, he armed himself with a firearm and fired off a couple rounds.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, he is wanted for domestic abuse battery and illegal use of weapons or dangerous instrumentalities.
We say it far too often, Johnny. You can never go too far without running across a domestic violence story.
Absolutely.
And it's far too prevalent in our area, in our society.
Yeah, the sheriff's office has been looking for Darkindris for a while. He's not a first-time flyer, and they would love to get him off the streets before he actually does any more harm to the victim in this case.
If you know anything about the whereabouts of either one of these folks today, the phone number for Crime Stoppers is 344-STOP. 344-STOP is the number. Download the P3 app if you I've got the P3 app. It's better to have it not needed than needed and not have it. You know what? I could have used a P3 app the other day.
You saw something?
Well, I may have saw something.
Well,
I snapped a
that's
couple pictures, so they're sitting there.
Well,
I don't know if it's something yet, though.
we'll submit them through the P3 app.
And, you know, I probably should do
Location,
that.
time, submit the pictures, and hey, who knows? It might be a
Let
piece
me-
of a
let me-
puzzle that.
It might be. I don't know if it's been reported. It is the holiday season, right?
Yes.
And naturally during the holiday, we're going to pivot here real quick.
Mhm.
Naturally during the holiday season, porch piracy goes up.
Absolutely.
So I'm driving up a street in my subdivision, and there's a woman. I see her just walk up to the front porch, grab a package from Amazon, and start walking back towards her car. Hops in the
Yeah.
car, takes off, and I'm 2 cars behind her as we get to the corner of Flannery and Old Hammond. So I snapped off a couple pictures as she
There
made
you
the
go.
turn. I don't have the license plate. There's a temp tag. I don't have the license plate, but I do have the the color, make, and model of the car, and I can match that back to the street where I saw it happen.
Perfect example of what.
So can I
P3
do
app
that
is.
like now?
You could do it now. You could go into the P3 app, pick the Baton Rouge Crimes, because there's other Crime Stoppers. So
Yeah.
pick the Baton Rouge Crime Stoppers location.
Mm-hmm.
Put the information in there.
Oh, of course I had to
you
run
can
an update.
you can assign pictures.
It's got to run an update.
You can assign put the pictures in.
Okay.
It's obviously not going to ask your name or any information. It's just going to assign you a code number once you submit that tip.
Mm-hmm.
Put the location where the incident occurred, and I'm sure there's probably a theft report, and some detective will be following up on that.
All right. I'm not going to try and do that on the air.
No.
I'll do that
But-
after the show this
But
morning.
it's real simple.
But-
You'll get a code number, so we don't know, obviously. Well,
Well,
I mean, might know now
yeah,
because
but
it's you
so
and
I
me
don't-
talking on the
A,
radio. But
I don't know if it was a porch piracy or if like that person
Right.
had permission
And-
to be there.
and they investigate the tips, so
Right.
not every tip, obviously not every tip we get pans out.
Right.
And
And I don't even know if the person who lives at the residence, and I don't know.
may have sent somebody to pick up the package.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah. I mean, they might. Yeah. Hey, swing
they're-
by and
Mhm.
grab it if you could. Or if it was a porch piracy and was just never reported.
Or it could be.
So, because I mean, with it being so prevalent, I'm on the Sherwood Forest Crime Commission, so
Yep.
we get the numbers, and a lot of the stuff goes without. Like, if somebody doesn't say something word of mouth,
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I had a package stolen. Did you call the cops?" No. Why? I mean, it's better to have the report out there.
And that I know with Sherwood Forest done such a great job with their crime prevention with the LPRs and the and the cameras, so it would be easy to find out, to track down that vehicle.
Oh yeah, wait,
and track it all the way through your neighborhood.
I'm not gonna say on the air how many LPRs
No,
cameras
I
we
wouldn't
are,
say.
how many we have, but yeah, I
No.
do know that they work and they work overtime.
That's right.
So it's
Made a lot of arrests from those.
yes, yep. All right. In the meanwhile, the phone number 344-STOP. You know the mantra: if you see something, say something. He is Johnny Dunham with Crime Stoppers. If last thing before we get you out of here is just to go back to this weekend's concert one more time. HolidaySinatra.com. And I can't. Oh, the other thing Ned keeps talking about is the kiosk.
Yeah, they just came in. We've got 8 new kiosks. Unfortunately, Ned said they came in and had to be put together. He wasn't expecting that, so we've got some people putting those together.
Some assembly required.
Some assembly required. Once they get put together, we will start putting them in DMV in different places as well, and we will have kind of a, if anybody wants to advertise on the kiosks, we'll have a fee sheet or something like that that'll come out that we'll put online. So
he is Johnny Dunham. We always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Here's your money now. Sorry, I wanted to make sure we touched on that before we got out. I didn't know there were some assembly required.
I just found that out yesterday. Ned's like, man, I told you they were going to be in last Tuesday. They didn't come in until they had to find a local distributor or delivery service, and they got the delivery. They got them to me Friday. He goes, I went Monday after Thanksgiving to check them out. He says, and it was like in pieces, and he's like, oh my God, I put all these together. I'm like, sorry, Ned.
So I'll often try to throw Don off or make Don laugh with some of the descriptions. And I'm never going to make fun of domestic violence, but
Darkindress.
You know what that sounds like?
but if you're 5'2", 130,
I know.
who you going to hit? Like the woman in the previous story
woman's
weighs
probably
10
only 4 foot
The
100
chick from
pounds.
GameStop is tougher than he is.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, that poor girl. Hopefully nobody gave her that and said, "Hey, go pawn my iPad."
Right.
I mean, if it turns out that she didn't know,
Yeah.
then you have to have intent. So she didn't have any intent. We had a deal a while back where a guy called me and said, "Look, I got this wanted that's on y'all's thing. She's my secretary, And I'm like, "Okay, what's it?" So I pulled the warrant and all, and it was a write a bad check deal.
Oh, okay.
And but come to find out, it was some guy she met online, fell in love with online. He sends her this check. Well, it's a check, and says he can't go to the bank and cash it. Can you cash it? So she goes to the bank, tries to cash it. Well, the bank catches it, and then she freaks out and drives off. Well, the police tried to talk to her like 5 times. Finally, they're like, draw up a warrant on her, but she never would come in and talk. And then when they did get her in, they found out the true story. So they didn't arrest her,
Right.
but still got to investigate it.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one.
All right. You too.
Appreciate it, Ron.
Always.
Take care.
Thank you. How are you?
It's been a while.
Connecting philanthropists with causes they care about, or making one transformative project for positive change. You can rest assured that BRASS is your community foundation. Join a network of like-minded individuals dedicated to making a difference by becoming a member of the Baton Rouge Area Foundation. Learn more at BRASS.org/membership. BRAF.org. At the exact same time as Jones Creek. Later, Johnny. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's good, sir?
Well, yeah, that's my ring. That's my teaching ring.
Yeah. Take care, man. So we're gonna get that sort of.
Sorry, I didn't see you text Kyle until like you were already in the building.
No, because the Christmas village is for first responders. I don't want to advertise it to the public. because
Do I have both of y'all?
rush.
Or
Sure, yeah.
y'all are up one over.
A team. We're a team, bro. What are we up to? 30 or 40 units now? I've been your
We're
memory
up
floor.
to 35 units because
Yes.
that's what my insurance says.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Laura,
use
remind me of your last name.
McDavitt.
McDavitt.
Right. Oh, look, I can make it easy. Just because I am me.
Morning, sir. Behind the
And
radio.
it is a wee bit wet out there.
Yes, it is.
What's
So this is
going
going to
on?
move fast.
Of course it is.
Okay. Let me get you in with plenty of time.
I love it.
Next week I
What?
Okay.
You let me know whenever you can, and we'll come back. I mean, we're just chilling, and
Yeah, we're just
Like I said,
chilling.
we're
We're
just-
just doing what we were
we're-
asked to do.
yeah, we're just glad that, like I said, we're able to reach out to you and like you give the voice because you reached at least 10, 12 listeners.
Yes. Yes.
I
These
may
10,
know
12
all
people-
12.
These 10, 12 people.
I think my mom and her friends.
Yeah, that's it. My boy, my baby's on radio.
It's the book club.
Once 755 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Got a quick 4.5 minutes here to welcome back Kyle Callihan to the show. If you were wondering if there was going to be a downtown Christmas parade this year, because Kiwanis taking they're not doing their parade this year, but downtown will not be without a Christmas parade. Kyle, welcome back. How are you?
All day, fine girl. I mean, fine sir.
Fine
Okay.
girl.
I'm with the fine girl. I'm with the
That's-
fine girl. Miss Laura
That would
McGavin.
be that
That's
would
the
be
lead
Laura.
in. That's the intro.
All right.
I'm with a fine girl.
Let's get right to it before we dig a hole here. Tell me about what's coming up with the First Responders Christmas Parade.
Go, Miss Laura. Hit it.
Okay. So we, as the Robert A. Bogan Fire Museum, got together with Downtown Development District, and we decided we could go ahead and throw a parade. So this is going to be Operation Save Santa. This is going to be a first responders Christmas.
Okay. So what goes into it?
Well, we're going to go ahead and gather on 4th and line up at 1. We'll roll at 2 on December 14th. It's a Sunday. This is going to be a day parade. There will be nothing but Christmas music played. There will be Christmas throws handed out. And we will see many types of different fire trucks. We have antique ones. We have big ones. We have short ones. We have long ones. We have tall ones.
Okay.
We have police units. We have wildlife and fisheries. We have the constable's office. We have some junior ROTC. We have Livingston Parish coming to help us. We have, we secured our grand marshal, and this will be the family of fallen police officer Caleb Ainsworth.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a lot piled into one parade in a very short period of time. Like, y'all got this together in a hurry.
Oh yeah, definitely. It definitely spun up. I remember having a meeting, and within a couple of days, I think the 5 mayors from the surrounding city was like, "We're in. What's it look like?" Next thing you know, I'm getting a call from Pascagoula, Mississippi. They're bringing motorcycle cops, SWAT vehicles. Like, it's people coming from 2-3 hours out just to be involved and help out. Then of course we got blessed with the Caleb Osworth's family who's going to be there and honoring that. So that it just spun up so fast. It's a credit to Baton Rouge, the surrounding area, the mayors, all the first responders. Like I said, we're one big family, and you definitely can tell in a time of need when we need it most, and wanted to put something together for the city who we serve so well. The need was put out. We need a parade, and guess what? We put it together, and it took, I'm telling you, less than 4 or 5 days.
Let's talk route. You said you're gathering on 4th Street.
We're gathering on 4th in front of the state capitol. We will proceed down 4th, go to North Boulevard. We'll make the turn there, go up to 9th, come back down to 5th on North Boulevard, and finish out back in front of the state capitol towards 5th and Spanish Town Road.
Okay, nice little loop right there.
It's a nice little loop.
Route.
We encompass the 3 main churches downtown, and this will be on a Sunday. So if any youth groups want to come on out, watch a parade, catch some candy, wave hi to Santa, he will be at the very end of the parade on a nice red shiny fire truck.
And we're calling it Operation Save Santa.
Operation Save Santa.
At the and I assume, like any other, in Louisiana, we throw things at our parades. I mean, other parts of the nation, they don't do that. But this is going to be more than just a lot of really cool vehicles along the way.
Right. We are asking all of our participants to bring their throws, and we're asking for small toys, little handheld things, candy. Candy at Christmas is always wonderful.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong on that front. So Sunday, December 14th, the parade's going to run at 2 to 4. I would be remiss if I didn't mention there's another parade going on at the exact same time.
There is.
So but it's all the way on the other side of town.
It is.
The Jones Creek Area Business Association's annual Christmas parade is at the exact same time. But I mean, you're talking about 2 completely different parts of town.
Correct.
So
traffic's gonna be a problem. You should, like I said, come on out. I'm picking the SWAT vehicles and the fire trucks. I'm nothing against Jones Creek. I guess being a homer, being a cop and a vet for a while, I'm going to choose that for the cool trucks.
Yours truly will be emceeing the Jones Creek parade at the very same time. So I'm going to have to miss out on the first one. But December 14th, 2 to 4 p.m. downtown, 4th Street to North Boulevard, then up to 9th.
I've heard that we've got a special guest coming too. The Grinch is going to be there.
Okay. All right. That's got it covered.
Is it more of a guest or a warning? I'm not the Grinch. I don't know if that's a warning or a guest.
Hour 3 is next.
Let's make things happen. So you don't play. Sir, as always.
Can I borrow my card back to give to Condon?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure I had the spelling
right.
For,
yes.
Basketball's going well. How's the girl? How's that? Many things.
So she's on another team now.
Okay.
In between, and I can thank Zach for this because it was like this little special all-star team.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
She wasn't on it originally, and Zach said, "Is Abby playing with the Tross players? The guys name? Is Abby playing with Tross player?" I'm like, "No, she didn't ask you." She didn't.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
So he hit the coach up. Coach called me and said, "My bad.
How we missed this?
So
how we missed this one?
Yeah. So yeah, she's playing with Trustco's team. They haven't even had a chance to practice.
Well, that 3-on-3 again this Christmas. You saw that come out again. He posted another 3-on-3.
Yes,
another
and I
one.
got to talk Abby into it because the 3-on-3 experience last time.
Is it because of the age group, or is it?
No, it's because they didn't get 4 players, and they were back-to-back games. So they played the warm-up game and obliterated the other team, and then played back-to-back games, and they didn't have a 4th player to sub in. So they got real tired real fast, lost the second game, and then ended up losing again. So yeah, you need a 4th player, or else you get tired.
True that.
Because they're all out of shape.
Well, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the season that comes around. You're about to be busy because I know basketball's about to get rolling.
And James is playing right now, and I'm coaching him. So, and he's terrible. He's horrible at basketball. No, I hope the mic is on. Tighten your shit up, son. Thank y'all. Yeah, just another quick hit as a reminder. So I do see, I do the play-by-play call for the TV broadcast of the Jones Creek Parade every year. So I promote that nonstop. So not a problem to get another little hit in.
If you want to find, just find. You know I'm always down. If I come up myself, Laura set up out. We'll make it. Just let me know what time works for you.
Will do. Thank you, Laura. I go grab something off the printer. Bring my phone with me in case Jill's in the studio. Do what? Because of the weather? Damn. So we get on. We either take Florida. Get on 12 Brisbane, get off the airline. Up to Florida to Marquette. Yeah. Oh.
These are days where Marissa knew those forecasts would be very appropriate.
Yes. Sounded like she just woke up next to you. Yeah. Dude, fry her an egg, man. So stupid. We eventually guarantee needs to do a TMZ style show. Like all the shit that we talk about upstairs that that never gets to make the air, but yes. The Montrix. Mm-hmm. 806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Cade Wazan producing. Starting off your third hour, starting off your 8 o'clock hour at 55 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge. We are broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio right here off Government Street. And we've got a busy hour for you this hour. We're going to have This Day in History coming up in just a minute, but we're also going to dive into the first of many recaps, first of many year in reviews. Going to start off with Jill Kidder from Visit Baton Rouge, going to join us about 10 minutes from right now. Been a very, very good year for tourism in the capital city. A lot of that had to do with bowlers. Yes, the bowlers. I missed them. I missed them already. We need to get them back. But we'll talk with Jill about all the highlights of the year. We will talk later on in the show with Gianni Ruusso. Looking forward. Oh, I say I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to sharing this. Gianni Ruusso, kind of a mob-connected guy throughout his life. He's got a new book called Mafia Secrets. He had a previous book that was a novel called The Sixth Family. If you recognize the name, if you don't recognize the name Gianni Ruusso, I don't blame you. He hasn't been in a whole lot, but he was in a little.
Maybe you don't want to say.
He was in a little film called The Godfather.
Yeah. So mob adjacent.
Yeah. But like in real life, mob adjacent.
Oh, okay.
Like in real life, some of these stories are freaking amazing. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the book right now. The stories are unbelievable. And one of them, the one we're going to talk about the most, hits home because it happened on November 20th, 1963.
JFK?
2 days before. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we'll talk with, I'll share that. It's a pre-recorded interview. We'll share it with Gianni Ruusso coming up at 8:40. Before we get you to This Day in History, do need to remind you about Industry Makes. What is Industry Makes, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Industry Makes is a campaign born out of collaboration and a need to present a united industrial front in the face of coordinated anti-industrial messaging. We see the ads all the time with the anti-industrial messaging. We see that the industry in Louisiana, jobs in Louisiana, livelihoods in Louisiana targeted for destruction on a regular basis. Well, Industry Makes is stepping up and speaking back. Louisiana's manufacturing sector and the businesses that support them, they just can't stand on the sideline anymore. That's why we have industrymakes.org. Let everybody else make noise. Let everyone make noise. Industry Makes will make everything else. Learn more at industrymakes.org. All right, time for This Day in History. Let's go. Time. Oh, okay. Okay, what you got, Cade?
This day in history for December 4th.
What the hell?
1259. You remember that year? Treaty of Paris signed between England and France, ending decades of conflicts. Donald J. Trump was reported of saying it was one of the best treaties he ever put together.
Mm-hmm. He tweeted this in the 1200s.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. That was before he was kicked off Twitter. In the 1200s.
In the 1200s, yeah, the first time. 1619, the first Thanksgiving was celebrated at Berkeley 100, Virginia.
Okay.
1791.
Hang on. What? Does that mean tomorrow on this day in history, tomorrow and this day in 1619, the first turkey sandwich was had?
Oh. And then a couple days later, it was the first Cyber Monday.
Yes.
Yeah. The online portal was a little bit different.
It was.
1791, The Observer, the world's first Sunday newspaper, is published in London.
Okay.
First Grey Cup played this day in history, 1909. Toronto Varsity Blues defeat Toronto Parkdale Canoe Club.
Ooh.
The Grey Cup, that's the Canadian Football League.
Is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
Also in 1909, Montreal Canadiens Hockey Club founded, the oldest NHL franchise still operating.
All right. A lot of Canadian news today.
1943, MLB commissioner announces that clubs may sign black players, paving the way for Jackie Robinson.
Hey, all right.
1945, U.S. Senate approves participation in the United Nations.
Okay.
Yep.
That happened.
1954, the first Burger King opens in Miami, Florida.
Oh man, this is a great business wars about McDonald's versus Burger King. Yeah, it's you ever listen to Business Wars, the podcast?
I have not.
Phenomenal podcast. I highly recommend it. Although he tries to recreate conversations and it gets a little cheesy. But it's overall very, very informative stuff, very entertaining, very well told stories.
1977, NFL plays its 5,000th game. Bengals defeat the Chiefs 27-7. Joe Burrow was 10 for 10 for 200 yards.
Wait, when was this?
1977.
Okay.
That's an unreal stat. 1980, Led Zeppelin officially disbands after drummer John Bonham's death. Yep.
Oh, well, that's what Condon brought me.
Oh.
That was my big scoop right there. Was this day in 1980.
Didn't mean to drop the lead balloon there. Celebrity birthdays today, Jay-Z.
Wait, hang on. Did you have was it on this day in 1930? I'm sorry, December 4th, 1954 was the first time Mike made an appearance in his cage. Not the habitat today, but this was,
in the rolling.
Yeah, no. This was the first time they had the cage built out for Mike.
Okay,
it opened up,
but obviously the habitat came way later. Yeah,
you know that. Yeah, that gorgeous expanse that he is now. Yeah.
On celebrity birthdays, mentioned JC, Tyra Banks.
Okay.
Jeff Bridges.
Okay.
The dude. One of my favorites, because I always hear it in the open for Legally Served, Marissa Tomei.
Oh, gotta love Marissa Tomei.
Jin from BTS. I know you're a big fan. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Jin, or maybe it's
okay.
Yeah. Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen, got him.
Which always reminds me of, there's many things he did, but the Californians are fantastic.
What are you doing here?
Celebrity deaths, Frank Zappa.
Hang on, man. I got more births here. Did you mention Jelly Roll?
I did not mention
Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll is 41 years old.
He's more like Jelly Stick. That guy's lost a lot of weight.
Bro, he is. Absolutely. And I got one more birth for you. A little SEC basketball shout out right here. Back to the good old days of Nolan Richardson in the 40 Minutes of Hell.
Yeah.
Corliss Williamson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Arkansas basketball heyday.
Yep.
Fred Hampton, civil rights leader.
Okay.
And Robert LaGoya, Scarface and Big.
No,
actor.
dude. Oh my goodness gracious. Was that a nod to JP to completely botch the pronunciation?
Look, I should have looked that one up, but I don't know what is it.
Robert Loggia. Loggia. Robert Feach LaManna from The Sopranos.
National and international days. Cookie Day, Sock Day, Dice Day. Cabaret Frank Day, World Wildlife Conservation Day, International Cheetah Day, and Santa's List Day. So you got to have it in by now. My kids made a list. Do you have to have this sent in? Is that what it's saying?
Santa's got a hard deadline. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, he does. No, but it's got to get to the North Pole.
You're right. There's a lot of,
and then toys have to be built.
Yeah,
right.
You're right.
I mean, you expected to just build the toys magically? I mean, his delivery system is amazing. You're going to put that onus on the factory as well?
Same day as Dice Day.
Is Dice Day named after Andrew Dice Clay?
Oh, I would hope so.
I hope so.
Oh.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. Jill Kidder from Visit Baton Rouge will be on the hotline next. There it is. Are you in charge of the food for your company's Christmas party? It's not too late to get your orders in at Mathern's. More than 50 catering trays that they offer at Mathern's.com or on the Mathern's Rewards website or Mathern's Rewards app. But if you don't see the tray you like, hit them up and ask. They're more than happy to work with you. But for the most part, it's going to get done with the trays that they offer. I mean, between the sandwich trays, the chicken fingers, the boudin balls, the veggie trays, the fruit trays, the dessert trays, cookie trays, you name it, they've got it. Breakfast trays, for crying out loud. They've got it covered over at Mathern's. You know where to find them. They're downtown on 3rd Street. They're in the Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center directly across the street from Tiger Stadium, or Highland, just west of Kenilworth, the OG location. The old school Kenilworth supermarket is once again a Mathern's. And oh, by the way, if you download the Mathern's Rewards app, you're going to cash towards more groceries every time you shop. Just have them scan the app at checkout. If you are in charge of the catering, if you're in charge of the food for your company Christmas party or anything that you're hosting throughout the holiday season, they've got you covered with Mathern's. Time to get a little year in review. It is that time of year. We're going to be doing this a lot as we move towards the end of the year. And I decided that I wanted to start with the year in review segments with our Visit Baton Rouge. Jill Kidder's on the hotline right now. How are you?
I'm good, Brian. Thanks so much for having us on.
No, always love having you on. And I decided we want to start with y'all because it was a big year. Y'all had a really good year this year.
We did. It was an exciting year for us. And, I think when you're talking about a year in a review, we always want to know what we've done and how well we, reached, if we reached our goals. But we also want to know, why, and remind ourselves of why we do it. And I think that's really important for us this year, too.
Well, then start there. Why do we do it?
Yeah, because, I think, inviting visitors to our community and them coming in and spending money here improves our economy overall, and certainly for our small businesses especially. And then it also generates tax revenues for our all of our cities and communities within East Baton Rouge Parish. And of course, that saves all of us as residents, tax dollars that we don't have to spend because our visitors left their tax dollars behind.
You know what? Do you mind if I take us down a little side path real quick just to talk about
Not at all.
The way Visit Baton Rouge operates? Because this is one thing that I've always loved about our Convention and Visitors Bureau is y'all, like, as budget talks continue for the city parish, y'all don't have to worry about that because if y'all don't hunt, y'all don't eat. You live and die by the hotel motel tax and the hotel motel tax alone. You don't need, like, everything that's going on right now with everyone else is a matter of, like, if more people adopted your model, I think we'd be seeing a lot different storylines being spelled out today. But the bottom line of it is, like I said, if y'all don't hunt, y'all don't eat.
That's exactly right. And this has been a model that's been adopted for, 50, 60 years in the destination marketing organization world. And so we're very fortunate that we work closely with our hoteliers because we know that if a visitor spends the night, they're spending more money in our community. But we're there for the day trippers and the folks who get off the cruise ships and all of those folks. We work with all of them, but for the most part, how we get our revenue, totally is how we get our revenue is through the hotel motel tax.
Yeah, and not only do you eat, but you feed others as well because it's not just about having Visit Baton Rouge here. It's about all the jobs connected to that industry as well. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to point that out. It's always nice to have a little refresher that says, yeah, we can see something run efficiently, run well, and serve the greater good. We got Jill Kidder from Visit Baton Rouge on with us. Okay, you talked about the why. Now talk about the what and more importantly, the how. Give me some of the highlights of 2025.
Oh, my goodness. There were so many highlights. We're going to end this year in a really good position, revenue-wise, visitor-wise, conventions and meetings, leisure travels. All of that is going to be up over last year, which was over 2024. And in 2024, we had 9 million people who visited Baton Rouge, and they spent $1.7 billion. And part of the reason why, I think we can point directly to the U.S. Bowling Congress, which we hosted. And I think that is no surprise to anybody who's been listening to your show or watching the news, we were fortunate enough to book them in 2012, if you can believe that, for 2025.
Wow.
For their world championship. And they spent 150 plus days here in the city on 54 custom bowling lanes in the Raising Cane's River Center. And Brian, they competed 22 hours a day. So really never shut down. We only shut the center in order to clean it.
Right.
And it opened right back up. There were well over 11,600 teams, and each team had a minimum of 5 people on it. So that totals somewhere around 60,000 people who bowled.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not all the people who came, because they brought their, significant others, their kids, their grandmas and aunts and uncles, and everybody came with them to watch them. And so at the end of the day, we were able to do an economic impact study through an event calculator that we have. And we estimate that it's right at $150 million in total economic impact to our communities.
150 million in total economic impact to our communities.
Yeah.
And that's not just hotels, that's not just restaurants, and that's everything all the way through.
Yeah, exactly. And, in addition to that, we hosted many other meetings. Just our office touched right at about 250 meetings, conventions, and sporting events this year that we literally recruited and booked, or we serviced and assisted in some way here in the city. So some of those were like the Louisiana Transportation Conference, the National Association of Junior Auxiliaries, the Southwest Regional Firefighters Challenge. Those are all big events. And of course, our continuous events like Marucci, World Series and those kind of things that happen here. And the marathon, which was huge this last year, and they're anticipating even more in January coming up. So we're very fortunate that all those things happened. And then from the leisure side, we're just thrilled that our Louisiana Lights program at Bergen Gardens in Rural Life is once again going to be hitting record numbers for the second year. And they, even because of the numbers from last year, which were 40,000 people went through just Thursday through Sunday. And so they've added a day now on Wednesday, and we are seeing overnight guests from that because we can track our advertising.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool. I mean, because it's a fantastic display. Highly recommend everybody go out to Bergen Gardens to see it. I didn't know it was drawing people in from an overnight perspective.
Oh yeah. And from last year, it was 49 states and I think 12 or 13 countries that actually, and I'm sure a lot of those people are visiting friends and family here, but that's our number one reason for people to visit. So we don't mind that at all. And that's why we supported it. And of course, there's so many other holiday events going on. The zoo lights, the Baton Rouge General lights, all of the events at the River Center and ice skating. So there's just so much to do during the holidays, and I hope people will get out and enjoy that. And we also did, and we try to do these things during what's considered our slow season for the hotels. And another thing we did was, of course, we welcome back Savannah Bananas party animals this year. And August is usually a relatively slow time for our hotels. And of course, that's when we hosted them this year again. And again, record numbers. We were just thrilled about that. And something we're looking forward to for next year is, of course, Death Valley Live, which we've been working on with LSU and BRAF and the greater Baton Rouge Economic Partnership and for quite some time. And so we're just thrilled that we were finally able to make the announcement of Zach Bryan coming in March. And then right on the heels of that, we're going to have another one in May as part of the concert series on Memorial Day weekend, which that Saturday night, of course, again in Death Valley, will be an exciting time. So I want everybody to keep their ears open because that's going to be announced in the next few weeks.
Okay, so we're not quite there yet with the announcement on the next one.
No, I wish I could, but I can't.
No, I understand. It's like talking to economic development people. You can't get a word out of them. I get it.
And it's not us, it's the tour. The tour groups want to make their own announcements, and they want to announce their entire tour at the same time, so it's got a bigger splash. And so we've kind of been held to that secrecy.
No, understood. We'll let them
Yeah.
post it when they're ready. We got Jill Kidder with us for a couple more minutes to talk about the 2025 year in review. Jill, want to talk about international travel a little bit, because we saw something throughout this year where we had two dudes come over from England and toured the entire state. Then the lieutenant governor goes back and makes them ambassadors to Louisiana.
Yeah.
How much buzz actually surrounded? I mean, I know locally we were all on board. We all adopted Josh and Jace, but how much buzz followed them back home? How much did their influencership influence?
Well, it's huge, and they're actually the second group of influencers that we brought in. We had some tour operators that came with media prior to them, and we've been trying to set up an LSU football experience in conjunction with New Orleans and the Saints, and we have now hosted two other tour groups as well. And what we call fam tours. And we're starting to see the fruits of that already. We've got, I think, two booked for this year, two tour groups booked for this. We booked two during the season this year, and we expect much more next year. We were able to put together tailgating experiences for them, and it's just been fabulous. And of course, everybody across the pond has been just blown away by what Baton Rouge can offer. And of course, we also have a lot of international travelers who are just coming up from New Orleans. After they've seen New Orleans, they want to get out and see the rest of Louisiana, and we're the first stop. And then international tour groups or international visitors also come in on our cruise ships that dock here. And so we hear and see them all the time here in our office.
I don't know what made me think I could get through with this in one segment. I'm about a third of the way through my list here. We haven't talked, you mentioned New Orleans. We haven't talked about piggybacking off the Super Bowl. We haven't talked about what you do for an encore, how you set the table for next year. Would it be possible for me to get you back on next week to pick this conversation up right where we're leaving it off?
Oh, I'd love to.
I hate to put you on the spot like that on the air, but that's I looked at my list here and I'm like, we got way too much with Jill. So let's get you back on. I'll text you after the show. We'll get something set up for next week. But it's been a banner year over at Visit Baton Rouge. Greatly appreciated the time this morning.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank
Y'all have
you.
a great holiday.
You do the same. She is Jill Kidder from Visit Baton Rouge. Yeah, we didn't even talk about piggybacking off the Super Bowl. We didn't talk about the cruise ships. That has been an evolving market and something that's going to be exciting to talk about next year or heading into next year for sure. Tell you what, we're coming up on 8:30 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're at 8:30. I should say we're coming up on news. We will check news. We'll check traffic. We'll check weather. When we come back for our break, Gianni Ruusso, mob adjacent and an actor. He was Carlo in The Godfather. He's got a new book out. We'll talk to him next. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Does Breitland know she's working the 2 days in between, 2 or 3 days that I have to have covered in between Christmas and New Year's? Because I'm gonna have guest hosts in here because I'm taking off, but like there still needs to be a producer. In between Christmas and New Year's. So like 29th and 30th. Yeah, we gotta get through the remote next week. You being out in the remote next week. Would it be possible to bring JP in for a day? I'm sure she's gonna say no, but please ask.
She was trying to keep him like not terminated. hey, what comes in, squeezing this and begin packing or whatever. Well, I guess in the process of everything, he did get married. So she wants to bring him in for things like that. But she asked me to hold off.
Well, it's because, when I'm on remote and the fact that I start an hour earlier than everybody else, there's nobody else in the building when this show gets started, or like nobody that can help. So
She's not here. She needs me to come in for the last hour on the 16th and the full show. That was what she was telling me.
it just because this group. Win big this holiday season. Talk 107.3 and Citizens Bank and Trust want to cover your rent or mortgage in 2026. Up to $15,000. Enter now at talk1073.com. It's home for the holidays and is brought to you by Citizens Bank and Trust. Going to get to Gianni Ruusso in just a minute. Do need to remind you about 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. And that honestly means something a little bit different. You're not calling halfway around the world to speak to somebody about your IT problems when you're partnered with 180 Pros. You're calling 225-330-2200. You are speaking to someone locally, someone who bases their success off of your success, keeping your system up and running, protecting you on that cybersecurity front from anything that might be coming at you. 180 Pros, 180pros.com is the website. Learn a little bit more about what they do, how they do it. Their why is everything. Oh, by the way, it's based off of your success. That's one of the things that I love most about them. When it comes to the tech, when it comes to the cybersecurity, honestly, you can get that anywhere, right? It's the relationship that sets them apart. It's that being able to call on someone that you are partnered with that sets them apart. Learn more at 180pros.com. All right, so I had the opportunity to speak with Gianni Ruusso yesterday. I always like to disclaim when we have something pre-recorded, but if you got a mafia enthusiast in the house and you're looking for a Christmas gift, you might want to give this a listen. Had him on when he came out with The Sixth Family. It's time to talk to him again. This time it's Untold Tales from the Hollywood Godfather, Mafia Secrets. Gianni Russo's on with us. Hello, Carlo.
I love that line, man. 55 years ago.
I mean, like it was yesterday, though, man. Mafia Secrets. Let's dive in because look, I'm full disclosure. I'm not done with it yet, but I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and I am fascinated the whole way through. What made you want to put pen to paper on this one?
Well, I was timely, and I talked to my lawyers. Statute of limitations were gone on a lot of stuff, and so I wrote the book, and I'm loving the way it's being received. I'll tell you right now, this book is flying off the shelves, and it's a great Christmas gift. So, and why not? And you know what's so funny? James Patterson just released a book last week,
really,
about Marilyn Monroe's final days. And he's talking about her being up in Cal Neva with Sinatra. Well, I was there that week. It was the last weekend of July, 1962, and that was the last 5 days of Marilyn's life. She was dead by Thursday, and this guy's talking about it. I didn't see James Patterson at Cal Neva when I was there.
So let's start there. Let's start with that particular chapter, and maybe it's because I read The Sixth Family, but there's a little more emotion in that chapter than there are some of the other ones in this book.
Oh yeah, well, I tell you, I hooked up with this guy. He's an amazing writer, and so Bill and I, we hit it differently, and I like this book a lot better. Probably my best book when you get down to it, and we revealed a lot more in this. And now I'm working on another book, really out next year, Celebrities and Gangsters. That's going to blow everybody away. But anyway.
Nice little sneak preview right there. Already looking forward to it. Talking with Gianni Ruusso. He was Carlo in The Godfather, among a number of other great roles on screen. But the life outside the screen is what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the book Mafia Secrets. Okay, the chapter after Marilyn Monroe we got to talk about. You're on in Baton Rouge, Louisiana right now. We're an hour down the road from New Orleans. You've been to Moscas. Tell me all about the JFK chapter.
Carlos is the best, man. He had the best pasta vongole in the whole world. In fact, it's funny you should bring that up because when I got there, I was making the rounds. I went to Chicago and to Detroit, and I always used him last, and they came back up the coast. And I always went there for pasta vongole bianco. He had the best clams and pasta. And I get there and just come from the airport, and I go to the bathroom. He said, there's somebody in there. And the guy comes in, he bunks into me. I don't even know who he was. Well, I found out about 5 days later, it was Lee Harvey Oswald.
Well, and you find out 5 days later because by 5 days later, it was all over the news. You were there 3-4 days before this went down?
Yeah. Well, they were getting the go ahead. I was the messenger, and I flew to 6 states to hear somebody whisper in my ear, 6 major guys, it's on. It's on. It's on. I flew back and saw Costello. I said, couldn't they tell you this on the phone? He started laughing. I said, and that's when I left the country. I left the country for 2 years on the independence that day. And the day we're talking about is November 22nd. So now you know what happened.
Yeah, of 1963. And the New Orleans connections there. It's part of Well, I mean, we still talk about it to this day in South Louisiana. The stories we grew up hearing from, our parents who heard stories and whatnot. But there's so much connection there, and hearing you getting literally a 2-word message from Carlos Marcello to take back. I mean, it just it really it brings the pages to life, man. Because this is a chapter of the story that involves South Louisiana, so we're dialed in now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, you always were. Carlos was a major guy. Between him and Anastasia, they ran the waterfront from San Francisco to Canada. That's the whole coast of the United States, basically.
Got Gianni Ruusso with us. Talk to me a little bit about how you've managed to have the off-screen life and the on-screen life together, because it's an off-screen life that, it's a world that a lot of people don't want stories told.
I know. Well, I do it in a way, and it became part of my life early on. I mean, I've been doing this for how many years? My nightclubs and the casinos I've opened and everything else. It's I borrowed $72 million from the team suspension fund on a napkin when I was going to build a Renaissance hotel. They were waiting for me to break ground. They put me in jail. Anyway.
You talk about the Teamsters. Jimmy Hoffa's got a chapter in this book as well. Looking back on it, when you were selecting what stories you wanted to share, and you do navigate the stories pretty well to where on a legal front you're in no trouble, but on other fronts I don't think you're in trouble either. The law can have a statute of limitations. I don't know if that other world can.
Yeah, no, but no. I mean, I anything in this book, believe me, I got permission from out of Sicily. Not my lawyers. They told me whose names to use and not use, and they gave me the blessing.
How did you go about choosing the stories? How did you go about choosing what you wanted to put down?
Just sitting down and dictating to the people I work with, and I let them tell me, because I like when I have women around me, fortunately, and I want them to read it. Would you buy it? And they get intrigued. And that's what I want to see. This is not just a male book. Women can. I watched women through the cinema fall in love with Cagney and Bogart. There was a sex appeal about that. That whole life. It still has it. Everybody's intrigued with the mob. Why? I don't know why, but thank God they are.
I don't know if I can pinpoint it either. I could say I've always been intrigued with the mafia. I mean, as far removed as I can possibly be, but there's something about the stories, there's something about the life, there's something about the attitude that just lends to that intrigue overall. Got just 2 minutes left here with Gianni Ruusso. He's the author of Mafia Secrets: Untold Tales from the Hollywood Godfather. Gianni, I want to ask you about what we see on screen. How close does it get to what it was in reality?
It's pretty close now because they've honed it. We saw the cartoon of The Sopranos. That was a joke. We've seen some good stuff, but as they're doing it, I like that series. I never watched it yet. Even as the Godfather of Harlem, but it's like we're saying here. We are talking about stuff that they've been doing this since the 30s and 40s. They've been making gangster movies. It's never going to go away.
No, not going to go away. Interesting. You said Sopranos a bit of a joke. Steve Siripa wrote the foreword for this one.
I know. Well, Steve was a good friend. I knew Steve before he was anything. He worked for me at State Street. He was the doorman while he was going to the University of Nevada. I love Steve. Yeah. Good friend of mine yet.
Got just a minute left with Gianni Ruusso, author of Mafia Secrets. Your message to folks, if they want to pick this up for the holidays and want to share it as a gift for the holidays, what do you hope people take away from this book?
Oh, they're going to love it. If you love the intrigue of that life, this book and some of the facts that are in it, nobody know about the stuff. Like with Marilyn that last weekend up in Cal Neva, and her aborting Bobby Kennedy's kid. Nobody knew. When John got to be president, he told Marilyn, "I can't see you right now because I'm married and I'm a Catholic president. Wait 2 years and I'll leave my wife and marry you." That's how naive she was. And Bobby took advantage of that and he impregnated her. It's crazy. I mean, what that you got to read the book. That chapter alone in Cal Neva, with Sinatra orchestrating Marilyn Monroe to go to bed with Bobby Kennedy one more time, is insane. And then she was dead 4 days later.
It's unbelievable stories told very, very well. He's Gianni Ruusso. Man, I know you got a split. Thank you so much for a couple minutes.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you.
The book once again is called Mafia Secrets. We got a couple copies to give away. We're going to do that tomorrow, by the way. I got 3 copies of the book to give away. We'll figure out look, if you're a mafia enthusiast, if you enjoy that section of American history, highly, highly, highly recommend. Although I will disagree with them all day long on The Sopranos. Let's call that show a joke. Come on. The number of people who have come out and said like it was the closest to reality there was, the number of storylines within The Sopranos that were stolen from real life. It just, come on.
Was he meaning that it was a comedy instead of a drama?
It's
I know what he meant.
To call it a cartoon. No, come on, man.
Yeah.
Call it a cartoon. I don't know. So many have said on the other side of that, on the other side of the issue. Hey, before we take our next break, got to remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is their website. LandmarkBankLA.com. Absolutely love the concept at Landmark Bank. Why? Because they were founded in 1897 as a community bank. And here, as we roll over to 2026 real soon, they remain a community bank. And one of the best things about them is when you're going to have a banker with Landmark Bank. But one of the best things about it is you don't trade off you don't lose off on any of the fintech. Whether you're talking about your banking, your personal banking, your business's banking, either way, they have all the, all the fixins, as it were, online. Give them a look. LandmarkBankLA.com. LandmarkBankLA.com to get to just learn a little bit more about their locations, the services they offer, everything they can do to walk you through your own personal journey or your business's journey. LandmarkBankLA.com. So LSU women play tonight, right, Kate? The LSU women in the women's version of the SEC ACC Challenge have got Duke tonight.
Yep.
And this is going to be a rough go. I don't have a read on how good Duke is, but man alive, LSU's at Duke. And this is going to be the biggest test thus far of the year for Kim Mulkey's Tigers. LSU's predicted to win it. That's kind of a given, but by how much? What kind of stretch is there going to be? Will there be another 100-point game? You'll learn it tonight on Talk 107.3. Yeah, Duke's 3-5. They suck. You think Duke basketball? Yeah, it's always the men, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm still gonna do the Duplessis pools. Rowdy Gaudet and Joe Kidder. Baton Rouge headline for Rowdy. Baton Rouge will have a budget next week. For Joe Kidder, 2025 the year in tourism. Yes. Laura McDavitt, McDavitt. Yeah. McDavitt. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Thanksgiving leftovers are a week old. Oh, I go 10 days. Yeah. 10 days and then my Thanksgiving leftovers tend to last longer these days than they used to. Well, also I eat a lot less. Well, yeah. Okay.
Hey, also $17.50 to get in. 1981 tomorrow, Stones.
$17.50. Shit. Okay. That's dude. Likewise, Rich. Always. Hey, did you have this one?
What you got, dude?
On the New Orleans website today.
Man, yeah. Yeah, but you know when I first saw that, I almost went with it. But that's just a picture from 54. I thought Mike actually won in his cage in 54. That ain't it.
Oh, I did it wrong then.
Yeah, because read the whole story. That's just a picture from 54, but they give you the history of Mike. But that wasn't the first time he was in the cage. Almost did that too, man.
That's not the one that went around the football field. This is just
No, it's a habitat.
Okay.
See, I think they just had an old photo and used it with that information.
Well, I don't.
It was just a file photo, dude. They just put it up there because they had it. I don't know. You could be right either way. Nobody's gonna know.
Okay. Will do. Will do. $8:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Don't forget Talk 107.3 and DePlessis Pool Builders are giving away a dream pool. Every $25 donation supports dreams come true, granting wishes for Louisiana kids with life-threatening illnesses, and get you entered to win in the dream pool contest. Donate $100, you'll get 5 entries. Enter today at talk1073.com. Cade, you still got cuts 4, 5, and 6 from earlier that we had to bump? Because I would like to revisit that story if we could. If not, no big deal. I can move on. You got it? Awesome. Cool. We're going to get to that in just 1 second. Do need to remind you about the folks over at 5 Star Printing and Signs. Printshop5.com is their website. 271-4096 is the phone number. As we get towards the end of the year, if you've been thinking about hitting a little refresh on all your printed materials, I recommend calling Danny and just talking to him. Just talking it out. Learning a little bit more about how to collaborate to make sure that what you have that's printed actually catches the eye. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind. Whether you're talking about your business card, your brochures, or anything you're putting your logo on merch-wise. And if you're not putting your logo on merchandise, you're completely out of sight, out of mind. Give Danny a call, 271-4096. When you can find a theme on this show. I love having local partners for everything. And when you talk about your printer, this isn't something you think about very often, but when you have a local partner with your printer, it gives you added benefits like, I don't know, being able to make last minute changes, being able to, if you have one of those big box stores that farms out all the printing and they send back something with a typo, that's it. You're done. Stuck with it. Danny and his team make sure accuracy is job one. Make sure that your satisfaction is also job one. Printshop5.com, 271-4096 for 5 Star Printing and Signs. All right. You heard in our news at the bottom of the hour earlier in the show, an estimated 3,200 jobs are coming to the Bayou region as Saronic, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, Technologies announces they're investing $300 million to expand the Franklin Shipyard in St. Mary Parish. Louisiana Economic Development Secretary Susan Bourgeois says this major investment will result in Saronic building more autonomous boats.
And one of the most important roles that he played.
Nope.
At that time.
You know what? We went back to it too late. All right. That wasn't cut 4. All right. We're going to bail on it then. Susan Bourgeois says the company is expected to create 1,500 direct new jobs and an additional 1,700 indirect jobs. Also, with our long and storied history of shipbuilding, we're kind of on the forefront on that front. So I'm just, whenever we see big economic development news, I love digging in on it, because to me, that is so much more important than talking about the garbage that is politics. Because to me, that is, hey, you look up and down your street, okay? How many houses are for sale on your street? Is someone out there to buy those houses, or are they just going to sit there? And oh, by the way, if it comes time for you to move, can you sell your house? Do we have an active, thriving community? And the only way to have an active and thriving community is to have jobs in our backyard. Now, I know this is St. Mary Parish. This is down Haggai's way, right? Well, Franklin, not Morgan City. But nonetheless, any win for the state is a win for the state, regardless of region within the state. And Susan Bourgeois has been, if you'll pardon my language, kicking ass and taking names since she took over. We're going to get out of here in just a quick second. Moon Griffon's coming your way next. I did want to reserve enough time to kind of preview tomorrow's show. Yeah, Patty G, you'll be in the house. Yes, we'll have Foodie Friday. Yes, we'll talk with the Pennington Biomedical Research Center. But tomorrow, let's put a button on the entire LSU saga from the time that Brian Kelly was fired to the time that Lane Kiffin was announced. Board of Supervisors President Scotty Ballard going to join us at 7:15 tomorrow. We're going to talk coach. We're going to talk AD. We're going to talk university president. We're going to talk chancellor. We're going to talk all of it. Just put a big button, a big recap on the whole situation. That's coming up tomorrow. Right now, Moon's up next. Okay, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Toodaloo.